What is up, everyone? How are we doing today? Carlo, please tell me you're having a great day.
Ricky, I am having the best day ever. I got up at 4 in the morning to get ready for this game, and it's finally happening. We are seconds away from the #1 rated team versus the #2 rated team, the Rochester Institute of Technology versus State University of New York, Stony Brook. They have crushed the group stage in the fall,
Yes.
placing first and second in East, aka the Group of Death. They have crushed the playoff Winter Invitational bracket, tying, actually, meeting in the grand finals, and now we're about to see them play.
It's not like these are... Oh, just go. Finish that statement. Finish the statement.
It feels like, I mean, we're not even at the real playoffs, the official playoffs yet, but the whole season has been leading up to this point. These two teams have there's a grudge, there's a storyline here. They're from the same group. RIT is just always just a little bit above a Stony Brook, and they got put on the opposite end of the brackets, and they both crushed everyone 2-0. Like, these are the hero teams. Like, these are the main characters of the CSL, and this is it for $1,000 in the grand finals. Winner takes all. We are here with this match on a beautiful Saturday with two beautiful casters. Ricky,
Aw, thanks, man.
like, this is it, man. This is like, what can we say? That these teams don't lose? Like, I could talk. You don't know if I'm talking about RIT or SBU. They never lose. They 2-0 everyone. They're unstoppable. The only time that SBU has seen the defeat screen is to RIT, and this is their chance to get them back right here.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. What you were saying earlier is one of the things I was going to touch on. It's not like these teams don't have history, right? They started in the same group. They have a huge history of competition between each other. And then last year, they both were LAN finalists, right? Like, one of them actually made it to victory. Rochester Institute of Technology, the grand finalists from last year. Stony Brook finished 3rd, 4th. So these are two teams that have history in CSL, not even just this year, but in previous years. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
For sure. On that note, Rochester Institute of Technology is about to go 5 semesters straight without losing a single series. They have lost games, winning like 2-1. They have not lost a series. Not only is this a chance for Stony Brook University to win the Winter Invitational, it is a chance for them to be crowned Kingslayers. They can stop RIT from hitting a 5 semester straight win streak. I'm pulling up the who actually took. Okay, so actually the Aggies took Stony Brook out. I was wondering if it was RIT last year. No, it was the Aggies. On that note, too, at the pace that this season is going so far, this might be the second series in a best-of-3 series of series, if that makes sense. RIT has played RIT and SBU have played one best-of-3 already, going 2-1 to RIT. This is going to be the second time Stony Brook and RIT play a best-of-3 series. At this rate, we might see if SBU wins, that'll tie at 1-1 in best-of-3s.
Very, very true.
Rate, we might see them again in the grand finals on LAN for the ultimate tiebreaker of
Dude,
who
that'd
is
be
going
so
to
epic. It'd be so epic.
Like, that's the storyline I want. That's the storyline I dream about, that I've been following. But right now, I think I'm more than ecstatic with where we are in the Winter Invitational.
Dude,
One thing to point out. Oh, go ahead, Ricky.
No, I would say this has been something I've just been looking forward to casting for so long. Two really, really high quality teams, and it's going to be such a joy, dude. It's been great. Been thinking about this day all week.
All of their games, these teams bring something crazy to the table, but I would also like to add that I've personally talked to both the players on the team, so we're getting the match. I'll wrap it up quick. These teams don't see many other teams as competition, but both these teams respect each other. Like RIT has stated that SBU is one of the only teams they see as competition, and SBU feels the same way about RIT. I recently talked to Shu, the captain, the drafter right now for SBU, and he said that RIT better be ready because this game is going to be 100 times harder than the last game they played together.
Honestly, I'm not even surprised. There's no way these teams haven't done the research and they're not prepared for each other. And honestly, I know they want to just go right in, play some games. So how do you feel about just going into the draft?
There, man,
do you want to just do it?
Let's go, because you get in there, man. I'm not going to stop talking, though, because these teams have something prepared. This is right after the patch. This is the first match we're going to see on the, 7.21?
7.21.
They both have something prepared. I guarantee it, because every single match that these teams come into, they do not draft reactive. They always have a strategy. They've always have the research done. And not only are these teams both in the spotlight, so it's very easy to get the stats and the data on what each team wants to play. They know each other inside and out. They're in the same region-based group stage every single fall semester of the CSL. We're going to see some fancy stuff from the new patch, and both these teams know what the opposite team is comfortable with. We see that there's a first phase Earth Spirit ban. Earth Spirit even just got nerfed, but we know that Doggy Dota is one of his staple heroes.
That's his thing. But like that's mad respect too, because you can tell like SBU here, they know Doggy's a world-class Earth Spirit player, and despite the nerfs, they're like, the hero's still good, but you don't want to give him this comfort pick, right? There's so many things to say in CSL about giving teams their comfort heroes, and I think that's a really good deny pick, or a really good deny by banning it out just in the first phase. Just don't let it happen, right?
Are we gonna are we gonna see a Xanthos Tide, but they immediately go for the Lich?
So they ban out Lich. We could see Tide. I mean, they didn't really touch him. He's still really, really useful. I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen it. We saw Xanthos play it, the last 3 out of 4 games?
He has played it every single game that it has been available. RIT has picked Tide for Xanthos in the first phase, and in every game, Xanthos just annihilates his lane and takes that momentum and brings it all the way to the enemy fountain with his Tide Hunter. He's so aggressive. He is such a manly frontliner. But speaking of big boy heroes, well, we got a tiny one. A first pick right there.
Yeah,
all right. Now,
that's interesting.
Do you think that's going to be a supporter or Xanthos? Or do you think that's the whole fun of it, is we don't know yet?
I think it's Doggy.
You think that's the Doggy?
It could be Doggy, but it could be a core. I know Eradicate's been practicing it a little bit. So it's possible this could be like a hidden first pick, tiny. Looks like they take the Bane. I know Wirt's pretty fond of that hero, so
yes, he is.
Might be a deny pick, but also
Coddle. Okay, it's getting spicy already.
All right, SBU with some really interesting picks so far.
Now, so lacking stun, but not lacking lockdown, so to say. One thing to keep in mind with Bane is his attack speed steal against Tiny.
It's so funny, actually.
Yeah. So we're going to see what the second pick is for RIT. I'm excited. Both these teams are playing a little. They got something ready here, as we were mentioning.
And we might see the Tide Hunter here.
I do want to bring back, though, as we were talking about, like the comfort pick bans, for example, the Earth Spirit. It just makes so much sense when you put someone who's so comfortable on a hero they want to play. They can make it fit in drafts that on paper it maybe doesn't seem like it should work, because I mean, like if we want to get specific, Doggy with Earth Spirit, you see Grimstrokes ban, but the real paintbrush is when Doggy picks up Earth Spirit, because he's an artist with that hero. Yep. He will pull stuff off that you would never expect. If anyone has been following the season, I mean, you definitely should recall his insane suicide to kill a Medusa between the tier 4s.
That was so
one of the most ridiculous, exciting plays we've seen all year. It was hilarious. I was laughing. I was cheering. I had so many emotions. I didn't know what to do. Speaking of not knowing what to do, RIT's hitting the reserve time here. Yeah. I think they got thrown off by Stony Brook.
Yeah, I mean, I don't...
Ogre!
Ooh. Okay.
They haven't picked that hero once, have they?
Yeah, but this is a hero that just got better in this patch. So one of the things that I was kind of saving for today was just like how this patch has changed the meta. And a lot of people don't realize the attribute change alone, right, from not receiving 25% bonus of your primary stat has severely tweaked the game as far as what is viable and what is kind of less efficient, right? One of those things being is attack speed. It is much harder to come around attack speed nowadays. And Ogre got a little bit of a buff this patch. He got slower. He got a reduction in his Fire Blast, and they made a 70% level 1 of multicast.
That was big, the multicast. Does Ogre do anything with attack speed? Is that maybe?
Yeah, I'm wondering if he does. But attack speed's severely lacking on the agility carries from last patch. They lose a ton. Especially the heroes like Terrorblade, Juggernaut, heroes like that build stat items. Those stat items are 25% less efficient. So there's a lot to be said about the stat changes alone, besides what even happened with the actual hero tweaks themselves. So Ogre, I was expecting to start seeing him pop back into the patch, because he's going to be kind of giving back this resource essentially that was taken away from this patch.
Are Wraith Bands, in your experience, are Wraith Bands still like just everyone has 7 of them?
No, definitely not anymore.
Let's take. I just want to. Oh, never mind. I thought that was a Xanthos.
RIT banned it.
So Sniper got banned second phase, a little bit telling of strategy, but also Eradicate staple hero. And a Lifestealer has made a reemergence. This hero did not see very much play prior to 7.21. What's the deal with the Lifestealer? Do you know, Ricky?
Yeah, 15 movement speed and 2 armor is the is the deal with Lifestealer. So what I was saying mainly in this attribute changes, agility heroes got hit harder than everyone else. They lost armor, attack speed, and movement speed. Strength heroes, they only lost 2.5 health per strength because they did change the ratio. So they really got hit the least of any class in this patch, right? So I think strength carries are going to see a kind of a resurgence here in Dota, but Lifestealer having the movement speed buff and the armor buff kind of makes it an obvious hero this patch now.
And how is his laning phase? Is it very matchup dependent, or is he just a decent, for the most part, a strong laner because of his feast?
I think in the past it was usually matchup dependent. I think right now his lane phase is fairly strong because you can't really harass him out very well, and if the 15 movement speed bonus is pretty huge. It allows him to gap close onto these heroes way faster to harass them. So
is that a Xanthos hero?
It might be.
I've also seen a few Legion Commanders mid, but that might just be some calibration boost fancy stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
I think that's very fitting, though, if it is the offlane player Xanthos, because he does play very aggressively in your face. And hello, speaking of getting in your face, another big boy is picked up.
Dude, do you notice do you see any agility heroes in this draft, actually? Like, I actually don't... I don't think I do.
I see none. I just see a big... bunch of big boys.
It's a big boy draft here. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I'm expecting to see in this patch, is strength heroes take over. They've kind of been put on the back burner for the last 6 months. There was only like 2 relevant ones, and Sven being one of them as like a offlaner that kind of showed up out of nowhere. But really, there was no strength carry besides maybe Sven and the occasional Dragon Knight.
I want to make a prediction here, Ricky, because there's just something I want to see so bad. And I know that the support, it looks like it's going to be a support Tiny going against Bane that can steal attack speed, but I want to see the Doggy Tusk.
The Medusa.
Okay,
all
that's
right.
Another classic, Eradicate. However, picked before the last phase, which RIT famously saves their very final pick for Eradicate. I guess they don't have the last pick. I mean,
there's no counter to it right now. Look at the SBU banned out the Sniper, RIT banned out the OD.
Yeah,
this Medusa is going to have a great lane.
Anti-mage in triple melee core. But in the past, when RIT picked Medusa in the second phase, it was actually a little tricky play, and they sent it to the safe lane and gave Eradicate a different hero to play in the mid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is where we usually see the Medusa pick, right? Right before the last ban phase.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a good pick. Medusa is a hero that, yes, did get nerfed quite a bit with some of the changes this patch, but she's still a very efficient farmer opposed to some of the other heroes that were typically Battle Fury carries because she doesn't rely on Battle Fury.
I mean, the 700 mana talent was removed, right?
It was moved to 25, and now it's 1,000 mana.
Okay.
So the difference is now you either choose between split shot modifiers or 1,000 mana.
That kind of makes more sense to me because that's one of my favorite changes ever in Dota is how the level 25 talents, for the most part, are kind of win conditions based on the hero.
Yep.
And I love that they're just like big beefy. So there is kind of there is like a rush to 25. Like hitting 25 is a huge power spike. There is a large difference between a level 24 carry and a level 25 carry.
Yep. Yeah, and there should be, right? There's that reward for being like, I got to level 25 first. We've been playing the map efficiently, and you should be able to kind of have that power spike. The bans here, the Razor to kind of offset the Lifestealer or the
We
Sven.
have been seeing quite a bit of Razor.
Yeah, it's a good hero.
I guess look at their lineup. It makes a lot of sense for Stony Brook on Radiant to ban that out. Yeah,
the Bane is really like one of the only ways to deal with Razor, and that's really not a good way to do it. So I think that's a really solid ban. And they pick up the Faceless Void.
I have heard that this hero is insane. That this is a sleeper hero since the patch. That if the game goes late, he becomes absolutely unkillable with the time walk
cooldown
reduction. Yeah, I have heard that he just. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it through. I have a couple little birdies that this guy just does not die if he can make it to the late game.
It's essentially 20% more effective cooldown on his time walk, if you think about it. They only reduced it by 1 second, but it retracts the last 2 seconds of time.
Yeah.
So it's 20% more effective.
And he's going to be building a, silence is a big deal against him, but he'll
get Manta.
Getting a defusal.
Yeah, he'll go
or
like Manta defusal. And
Manta's what I meant to say, but yeah, I mean, still fine pickup.
Yeah, it's, Void is really good in general against these heroes. There's not really a root here. He can
2 melee cores, very easy to predict their movement because they have to be on top of who they're targeting.
Now the other side is Faceless Void is not usually a very tanky hero. So if this Sven does go similar to what we saw last week in more of a fighting Sven, it might be pretty difficult for Void. He literally could blow up.
Absurd crits with Daedalus Echo, and we might not even see a Void at all.
Yeah, but I'm really liking RIT's draft here with the Ogre to round it out, mainly because both Faceless Void and Medusa, like I said earlier, they've lost a lot of attack speed this patch, and both of those heroes benefit greatly from having it. So this is a really well-rounded draft, I think, from RIT and Pugna.
Ooh, picking up the pace with the Pugna.
I like
it. They
don't want to take it late.
Coddle, Pugna, they got pushed, they got delay. The Decrepify offers a save inside the Chronosphere as well. There is almost all the magic damage is coming up from Tiny, never mind, but he's not going to be getting you inside a Chronosphere. Okay.
I like this.
Now, do you think... I'm concerned I really like I still am loving the Tiny pick, the first pick from RIT, because he's not going to have a problem with Bane, he's not going to have a problem with Coddle, and he's going to offer a decent, a very large chunk of DPS against squishy little Pugna.
Yeah, he does get absolutely shredded by Lifestealer. It's a hero with no armor and high HP, so it's a hero that if he shows up in the Lifestealer's lane, you will die. So I imagine that doggy here might be playing bot lane with Ritz, but I don't know. If he goes top with Xanthos, it's not the end of the world, because Xanthos will be very tanky.
He's a big healing potion made out of rock.
Yeah.
Whenever he goes near Lifestealer. Lifestealer feasts, Lifestealer open wounds him, and Lifestealer's just going to go right back to full health.
Yeah.
Same with Ogre as well. If Ogre goes near Lifestealer, he gets the same thing. Ogre has a very high life pool, and with how Feast works based on your HP, hitting Ogre and hitting Tiny are going to offer a lot of lifesteal towards Lifestealer.
I think Ogre isn't as bad because Ogre has so much armor and base regen, so it's really more of like, Ogre can just still sustain lane, really. But Tiny can't. He has no armor. He'll take so much damage from Lifestealer. So I would imagine it's going to be Xanthos and the Ogre off lane. But we'll see. Both these teams are really smart. They're way better than I am, so I'm not going to tell them what is right or wrong. We'll find out here in game number 1 between RIT and SPU.
As I mentioned quickly before we introduce, RIT has and always has given Stony Brook a lot of respect, and specifically Shu, who's going to be playing Coddle.
Yeah.
So I'm the Coddle Sven going top right now. Well, let's introduce these teams because I think we're going to see some action right away.
So excited. So, as you mentioned, we got Shu playing Keeper of the Light here. We've got No Zom on the Bane. We have Frankie, the Eternal King himself, on the Sven. We have Dark Raider, the one and only, on Pugna.
This mid matchup's going to be insane.
And then Ramilia on the Lifestealer. I'll let you go ahead and do the honors of introducing previous champions
here. The grand champions, the Rochester Institute of Technology, going for 5 semesters straight without losing a series, defending their title and looking to become the first ever champions of the Winter Invitational. Eradicate will be facing off against Dark Raider mid. Eradicate is on Medusa. Xanthos is taking a break from Hunting Tides. He'll be on Legion Commander. Faceless Void being played by Ritz. Some action top right now. Tiny quickly be playing by Doggy, and Ogre Magi picked up by Wirt. And I love this, by the way, the pig balloon.
The balloon is the best thing that they've ever added.
I was literally just going to say, it is the best thing. I'm so happy with the pig balloon. I will be spending all of my Dota Plus points on it.
You can just flood a lane with them and kick them around everywhere.
Okay, so there are 2 stuns top. Ritz, I don't think Ritz is going to go for this.
A little bit of action.
Bottom lane, we're seeing a little bit of action. Tiny is getting some damage with this tree. Xanthos throws out the overwhelming odds. Doggy's the one who is taking the most damage here. He might be in a bit of trouble. No, it's Feast and Brain Sap. So he's going to make it away safely. Although he did spend quite a lot, or take quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, so that's the thing, like, he has the tree damage, right, to kind of help last hit, but if Ramilia wants to ever gap close, it should be fairly easy. Looks like Bane
RIT took
running
3
mid.
of the runes though. Xanthos did grab the one bottom.
Oh, that's good to know. Well, he came bot to came mid to try and D-ward. Looks like there is no ward placed here, so pretty good for RIT.
Now, is there any cheese here? So Sven can just spam his Stormhammer to harass Ritz top with the mana from Shu, but the thing, as someone who plays Caudle hates just being chased around lane. And Ogre, that's what he does in lane, is just chase people around.
Yeah.
You can see Shu's already down to half health.
I would say Frankie should be able to out-CS the Ritz on Void here, just because Sven has way higher damage, way higher armor, trades exceptionally well, so should be an easier lane here for the Sven.
As well as comboing Stormhammer after an Illuminate. Does it buy enough time to...
No, he can get out.
Not quite.
Yeah, he'll get out.
Yeah. But it's still quite a bit of harass, and Frankie actually on Sven grabbing the creep wave right away, trying to fight for the lane equilibrium.
I mean, they just want to keep it under tower because this is a lot of like slow sustained damage that Ritz is going to take, so he'll have to pop his salve here in a moment. And really, this regen war is going to be a big deal.
Yep. Well, Ogre's quite a fan of regen wars with his 6.3 regen he's sitting at with
Doggy
with
bottom
nothing
lane
going
might
on.
just be dead.
Oh no, Doggy's, as we mentioned, is
there
going to
he
be
goes.
taking a lot of damage, and there it is, the first blood. He gets finished off, Nozam on the Bane, takes the first
Word.
blood. He'll be able to pick up boots.
Is Word
Top
dead
lane,
as well?
actually, yeah, you're right. Ogre got a little bit aggressive. He's going to turn around and get the stun, but there's an Illuminate coming out. Not enough damage because of the regen on Ogre, and now they're going to turn on Ritz on the Faceless Void. He time walks away. Both teams very
They have
low.
a stun
but it
here
looks
on
like...
Frankie. They might go for it.
Alright, there it is. The stun, he knows he doesn't have time walk. Frankie is tanking 2 creeps. An Illuminate comes out, just barely misses, and great use of Tango and Hatchet. Rich is running away. Now we're going to see Shu and Sven chase after him. Sven really wants this kill. No one is CSing. He actually breaks the salve.
3 seconds on
100
time
gold.
walk. He should survive here.
Yeah,
time walk
but there is an
TP.
Illuminate to follow it up. The Illuminate, it's going to miss because Void has teleported away. Time walked away.
So they blew so much regen on the side there of RIT. He used his salve to survive. He used all of his tangos. And he's still just now stuck in lane with no HP. I think in a situation like that, it might just be worth dying, TPing back full health. And then you have your salve, you have your regen. I don't know. There's certain instances where dying is actually a better option.
Ogre's bringing regen and a Wraith Band back for Ritz.
What a guy.
Very, very friendly fellow. Let's take a look at CS right now. How are the lanes looking so far?
So Lifestealer doing really well. This is expected.
And of the top 3, it's favoring Stony Brook.
Yeah, they have all 3 of the top spots. Pugna winning out the mid lane.
The third one is kind of going back and forth. The top 2, though, are definitely in Stony Brook's favor.
Yeah, this is... I think Eradicate isn't too worried. Medusa isn't a hero that suffers too much from just being a little bit behind because she's so efficient at farming. The problem is, and you're going against the Pugna, if you do dip out to the jungle to farm, Pugna will just start taking your tower.
Yeah,
and he takes it
Medusa,
very quickly.
Medusa, doesn't want to leave the Pugna alone, but Pugna is also low on mana.
Yeah.
So this is going to impact how many CS Pugnas they play.
He's got a clarity, so he's got to be very careful to not get hit by the snake when he pops this.
Doggy actually gets a great pull bottom lane. Oh, Bane messes it up. Very well done. Keeping the lane equilibrium in their favor. This is likely a very big reason why we're seeing Lifestealer topping CS right now.
Dude, these teams are so good. Like, everything that they're doing in the lane phase is just so well done. I worry about Doggy down here. I don't think this hero is going to do as much as they hoped.
Yeah, well, it was their first pick.
Yeah.
It looks like Doggy might go for a play down here. He gets Brain Sap. No, he's not going to go for a combo, sitting on full mana.
Really surprised Lifestealer's not trying to go for that kill. He can pop the Rage, dodge the Avalanche, and they might be able to get the kill.
Xanthos has been doing a great job with his overwhelming odds, trying to get damage in, but overall, Lifestealer is just sitting in lane, able to sustain back up.
I don't think...
Top lane, we might see a dive. No, they're going to chase Caudle out, and Sven's just going to fight. He has the mana. No Stormhammer, though, for a little while. It's gotten to the point where Bane is actually pushing both Legion Commander and Tiny out of lane.
High armor, has Brain Sap, good damage, animation. Like, Bane has always been a good hero at zoning. And
RIT, look at this.
4.
This discipline play. 4. Also, I'd like to point out that Doggy's picked up a double damage rune. Looking at 170 damage when carrying that tree.
And he's TPing top, actually.
Ooh! Wirt actually baits the bounty rune to go for a kill on Shu. He leaves it there. Shu goes for it. He pops out from behind the tree and takes him out.
What?
Very well played.
god.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
I saw him go for the rune, and I was like, alright, just gonna take the rune and back. That sucks. Coddle's
Yeah.
not gonna get there. But he actually just jebaited the
He
rune.
waited. Yeah, he waited for Coddle to show, and he took him out.
Wow. Word is
Very
so
slick.
good.
Very, very.
They
slick.
saw
You know,
this Coddle go into the trees. They saw him.
when I think of sneaky heroes, actually, Doggy,
my
speaking
die
of
again.
sneaky heroes, once again, Ogre sneaks up on Coddle, an Avalanche and a Fire Blast, and then the Time Walk going in. They're chasing out Coddle, but Sven's going to give him that very useful shield, speed him up, and keep his survivability. Sven gets tossed at Coddle. I don't know if that's who they wanted. Word's going to
He's
stay
too
in
fast.
pursuit here. Now Sven is just smacking people with his sword. Doesn't have a point in cleave. It doesn't mean he's not very scary. And this is going to leave Xanthos on Legion Commander.
Oh my gosh, Ritz,
One against
he's dead.
Lightshield bottom.
He got caught by the Stormhammer into a Brain Sap and Illuminate, just immediately died. He just went up for tried to CS a ranged creep, didn't get it. I think this really benefits these current lanes, like really benefit the lineup of SBU. Yeah, Stony Brook's going to do really well with this.
All three of those heroes have decently high damage spells they can chain together.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need. They can go for anyone, even with how tanky the lives or the Faceless Void, Ogre, and Tiny, 3 tanky heroes in the lane. I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, and another thing to point out, Lifestealer thrives one-on-ones. He's a hero that he's very difficult to kill, and he doesn't really need much assistance with the levels that he has now. So he's
Actually,
just
there we
get
go.
free farm.
Sven has found Tiny. He's going to start trying to beat him down. Sleep goes out to set up the Illuminate on Doggy, but now Coddle is in danger. He gets a great Blinding Light. He's going to run the Time Walk. Ritz gets it the wrong way, and Bane is going to do a fantastic job body blocking 2 melee heroes, saving his boy Shu, and now they're turning on Ogre Magi. Great positioning by Frankie, making sure to move in between the auto attacks with that giant sword he's carrying after this big ol' Ogre. He finds him in the trees. He's got him cornered. They're going to try and get Shu.
Oh, so close.
Shu right in his face as Ogre falls to Bane. Now Frankie, with a lust for blood, chase down this Void, get him out of lane.
Xanthos actually going to struggle really hard bottom lane against this Lifestealer.
Oh yeah, he has been. Lifestealer, every time I look bottom, it's just I watch Lifestealer farm, and it's RIT desperately just trying to get their heroes near the creeps.
And I will point out, Lifestealer is doing my absolute favorite build. I ran this build yesterday, and boy was it a good one.
Boy, was it a good one. I
ended the game like 11-0-13. Like, it's a pretty solid build. So we'll see what his core items build, but really just going this phase into Midas. I
Top
think
lane,
super value.
Faceless Void gets hit by a Stormhammer, followed up by a Brain Sap. He's going to Time Walk it back, put some pressure on him. Sven is still holding on to 2 mangoes. He's going to pop one right away, just have that Stormhammer ready.
Doggy has
Doggy
DD.
Doggy went for a game. Oh, here's the Bloodlust on Doggy. Okay, here we go.
See.
Bane is in a very dangerous position right here. Ogre, once again, I don't think of Ogre as a sneaky hero, but he's about to sneak up on someone for the 3rd time.
They find
And it's
Shu
Shu!
instead.
For the 3rd time, they find him. He throws an Ogre at him. Ogre gets blinded onto the cliff, but from downtown, perfect accuracy. Sniper was banned, but Tiny's still not going to miss that throw.
And Ritz almost died too. Ritz almost died in that exchange. But now you've got a Wirt stuck on a cliff, no
Wirt
TP, so
the
he's
ward.
flying it out right now.
Can Doggy's going to try and toss him, I think?
I don't think you can.
Oh,
but
there's some pings going out under the tower. Ritz is very low on HP. He is asleep. Bane's going to get as much damage as he can. They're going to follow it up with a Stormhammer. Oh, baby!
Level
What
3
happened? He got
Stormhammer,
deleted.
Level 3 Brain Sap.
Eternal King Frankie. He's wearing his own crown, and he's about to take the crown from RIT if he keeps this level of play up.
Dude, they are playing so well.
Oh,
and Eradicate is...
Eradicate went to the... go for it.
It looks like we both are about to say the exact same thing. Eradicate is doing exactly what we talked about, where a hero that can just bounce from lane to jungle camp really quick. He's now level 9, just almost top of the net worth here. And he's pretty happy. His lane hasn't been contested too much.
But
Xanthos bottom,
look at
he's alright.
The effect of him going into the jungle. Check out his tower's HP.
Yeah, that's
Against the
exactly.
Pugna, as pointed out earlier.
Dark Raider, pretty content with being able to take this mid tower. And if they get it, it opens up that jungle really hard.
Frankie's getting aggressive top. Sven pursuing behind the tower. He's the one that's going to sneak up on Ogre this time. No, it looks like he's going to grab the creep wave. Is he going to cut it? He doesn't have cleave, so it's likely he's just going to pull it. Very funny watching Sven just hit one creep. Not something you see all the time.
Stormhammer with the nerf this patch makes it so you kind of have to put more points into it. I think you usually max Stormhammer anyway in the off lane, but now with how much damage they reduce the early points of it, you kind of need to get the level 3 or level 4 Stormhammer.
Yeah. I think I have no problem with it. He's doing a fine job. They're gonna see a Stormhammer
on
go
board.
on Ogre, followed up by Brain Sap, and Ogre's immediately dropped to half. An Illuminate drops him to a quarter. A Sleep puts him in terrible position, surrounded by all three players on Stony Brook University. It looks like he's not gonna make it far, and Frankie will take the last hit. Ritz manages to get a last hit
right
from
behind
that.
Dark Raider in the mid lane.
Yep, here we go. He doesn't have
He's
Avalanche. He's gonna go
a
for the
fast
Avalanche.
skeleton though.
There's a Bane in there. I think Doggy didn't want to commit because there was the risk of him tossing a creep, but Eradicate is unaware of Bane sneaking around.
They might have seen the
Behind those
corner of the
trees.
teleport because a creep did follow Dark Raider in there, so I think they knew.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Well,
they knew.
just take a quick peek at bottom lane. It seems that not much has changed. Level 7 Lifesteal. Level 6 Xanthos is staying in there. Not expecting to do as well as Lifestealer, but he's doing well enough.
Yeah, it's Lifestealer doesn't really have much kill threat onto Legion Commander because you can always purge open wounds.
Yeah.
But it's a hero that like still
Actually,
does really well against Legion.
Ritz and Frankie are smacking back and forth top. Although, so it's funny because both these heroes are great at man fighting. Faceless Void and Sven. Faceless Void because there's the threat of time lock and his ability to time walk the damage off, whereas Frankie deals high damage, can hold you down with the stun, but he also has the War Cry, which is going to absorb strength. Ooh, Frankie actually used in his Stormhammer.
So I was just looking at it. You actually can't time walk Stormbolt damage.
Oh,
And
yeah,
level
now there's
4
level
is
4, right?
exactly
Oh,
2 seconds.
Faceless Void goes on Sven. Sven's not having any of it. He pops the God
You can
Strength and
chrono
turns
this,
around
I'm
right
pretty
back
sure.
on Faceless Void. Now he's going to start smacking the Ogre, but with no kill potential, he's just going to use this to keep himself able to lane 2 versus 1. Well,
Fire Blast and Chrono him. I'm positive that is a kill. You need to do it.
Here we go. There's the time lock. There's the Chrono. Word is trying to get in position on Ogre. Looks like he's going to try and time it just as well as he can. There's the Fire Blast. Both in range for a Stormhammer. He's going to get the double stun. No, he's time locked up. He actually turns and kills Ritz. He's barely going to make it away. Shu is here. They're not going to let this happen. You try and blind him with the fire. Beats him down. Looking for the Avenge kill. Dark Raider has came all the way from top. A migration for a kill, but Shu's the one who's going to get the last hit. Not
This
the best,
Sven.
but still not bad. 2-for-1 trade, going for the favor of SBU.
So you could tell that SB was literally communicating on mic, being like, "I'm gonna bait this Chronosphere, TP immediately." And he tried to dodge it. He ran into the void as soon as the time lock came out because he was expecting the
Very
Chronosphere.
close.
3 TPs immediately from SBU, and they net both kills. That is such a huge
Now-
play, and there's your Fiend's
I love
Grip.
it, and actually we're going to see, speaking of ults, a Fiend's Grip and a Pugna Life Drain are going to kill Faceless Void, and it's actually going to stop a teleport. Wirt is now doing the Walk of Shame, top lane potentially, because there's no reason for him to go top. Although Pugna's rotation top, they're going to, SB will get their second tower, has opened up mid lane, and Eradicate has taken the mid tower.
And there's the Midas Scold kicking in on this Lifestealer. Take a look at his net worth. 60.
Let me take a look at his net worth.
100.
Woo! He has a different digit in front of his net worth than anyone else in the game, and I like that.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Midas, Ogre Magi,
Is he going it?
I don't know. Do you think?
No, absolutely not. Not this
No.
game. You're going to be too far behind. I don't think you can afford to do that.
Let's talk about Eradicate's adventure through his own jungle. He's lost his tier 1 top tower, which opens up his jungle. Eradicate on Medusa wants to be hitting a lot of creeps with split shot. Now Pugna is going to pressure his tier 2 top. If they lose this, then the only safe place for Medusa to hit creeps is their side jungle on the other side of the map, which does not offer as much farm. Here we go. I hear a Stormhammer coming out. I don't know what happened. Now, it looks like RIT has shown up. There's the Will-O-Wisp, but God Strength is holding down 2 players by RIT. Not a lot of damage is coming out. They really want to get they really want to
Frankie,
spend, but he's quite tanky.
yeah.
RIT is taking a lot of damage, but it looks like they're just trying to shoo SBU out of their jungle. Now, Word is the one in trouble. Frankie wants to go in. He has God Strength. He has Vladimir's offering. He doesn't want to go up the hill. Just kidding. He has a ward. He's going to stun. He's going to chop. He takes out the Tiny, but now he might be in trouble. No, he's going to commit fully.
Great four-man Chrono.
Chronosphere from Ritz on the backyard. Eradicate staring them right in the face with his Gorgon's eyes. Xanthos shows up. They duel the Bane. They get the damage. They take out the stun. A Blinding Light is going to buy Shu some time, but I don't think he's going to get away from it. Dark Raider does a great decrep in TP, and now we have all of RIT comically chasing down one of the fastest heroes in the game. A very low health Shu. They get the Ignite on him, and Xanthos is going to take a second kill there.
This is classic RIT. I think we've seen it in at least 2 different games where they play so well around this shrine. They take a fight that looked terrible for them, the high ground ward there that actually set up a 2-man stun on RIT and an easy first kill, but they get a great 4-man Chrono into a perfectly timed Stone Gaze, a TP in from Xanthos. Like, they just turn the fights so well around their shrines. So
I
Oh,
agree
man.
with everything you say, and I'd love to alley-oop you here. Speaking of classic RIT, check out those bounty rune pickups.
All 4. So they take the fight.
All
They get
4,
all
baby.
4 bounty runes. Xanthos finishes his Blink Dagger. Eradicate he does have Yasha completed. And look at the net worth now. The top of the net worth is still Lifestealer, but it's pretty close with Eradicate now. He's staying up there.
Well, if I may have my numbers wrong, but I believe that's 11 bounty runes now for RIT. 11 to 1.
Oh, they got all 3 in the beginning of the game, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, check out the side jungle here. Medusa, we talked about this. This is where Medusa is safe, but they don't have enough damage with the Fiend's Grip, God Strength, and Illuminate. Looks like they might have enough, and Avalanche comes out, but the Stormhammer's going to finish off Medusa. However, Stony Brook is in a very dangerous position fighting on top of RIT Shrine again. This didn't go very well for them last time. We see Xanthos on Legion Commander is actually getting life drained, but Doggy breaks it with the toss. Xanthos does end up falling. Now Doggy has put himself in danger. Level 5 being chased by the entirety of Stony Brook University. A Stormhammer once again will secure the kill, picking up 3 kills overall, 2 of those for Stony Brook. So once again on top of a shrine, but this time the fight definitely is in Stony Brook's favor.
Yeah, they make me eat my words within a minute. I just talked about how good they are fighting on their shrine, but I don't think they expected Stony Brook to come back so fast with a vengeance. And look, they get 2 really good wards placed at the same time. One blocking the camp, the other on the high ground there to set up this tier 2 push. So the support play here by Stony Brook is very good.
Definitely, and this is going to start starving the Medusa. The Medusa who just teleported into a Decrepify. They see, Stony Brook sees Xanthos on Legion Commander coming in. His Blink Dagger is going to be broken by Illuminate, but Xanthos knows Caudle is probably hiding in the trees. Here we go. We have the Chronosphere come out, but a Decrep and a Wisp are going to start holding down Stony Brook. On the backside, Bane is the one that RIT wants to go on. However, it looks like they're going to trade their Faceless Void for it. He gets taken out. Fantastic Illuminate is going to catch Xanthos. He tries to get away from the overwhelming odd speed, but he is taken down as well. Eradicate is in the middle of everyone. He desperately wants to get some damage with his Gorgon with the Stone Gaze, and they do manage to take out the Eternal King himself, Sven, but now Eradicate really needs to relocate to his team. He tries to run to Ogre Magi, but he finds out that Ogre Magi is just getting beaten down on the top lane, and he dies. Now Doggy, once again, where did my team go? He's getting sucked. He's trying to get everyone away from him. Very low health. He's unable to deny to the Ancient. Eradicate on Medusa is the only one alive to the 4 players.
And this is really just exceptional ward coverage.
Yeah,
they saw this whole fight start, you know? They knew what was going to happen. They positioned really well around it. And they're going to get this tier 2 tower, and
they won the fight so handily they can pick their push-up right where they left it off as if nothing happened.
Yep.
Now with a 5k lead, and only 5k lead for Stony Brook, only 2 towers stand outside of RIT's base. Has RIT been in a position like this the entire year?
I don't think so. This is the first time I've seen RIT actually be this far behind in the game.
Is it the coordination? Is it the aggression? Is it a combination of both? What are Stony Brook University doing that is proving to be the kryptonite for RIT?
Normally, RIT is pretty solid in the laning phase, but I think right now what we're seeing is just a really coordinated team that had a plan really from the start, and they're executing it really well. Like, if you think about how well these lanes went for Stony Brook, it is really difficult to deal with. At this point, 18 minutes into the game, when you're dealing against with a Pugna, Sven, and Lifestealer, all 3 heroes that excel in this phase right now. So they really need to stretch this game out.
We've always seen Eradicate on his Medusa be given time, be given lots of time, arguably too much time to farm. The first thing that Stony Brook did, as you said, they just took their jungle away and they're starving them. And now look at this, they're hitting the T3 right now, and RIT can do nothing about it. That's a level 6 Tiny looking at a level 13 Lifestealer beat his base down. Xanthos on the backside tries to get some harass with overwhelming odds, but he gets chased down. Luckily, Word is there to buy him some time, but Xanthos doesn't look like he wants to fight anymore at half HP, just like their tier 3 tower, which is now at about a third HP.
Yeah, this tower is just going down slowly but steadily. Dark Raider plus the Pugna Blast and Shoes Chakra Magic. He gets 2 off every time.
Yeah. Tier 3 is about to drop. There it is. A blast is going to do damage to the barracks. In the meantime, we have Faceless Void taking a T1. They're trying to get a trade out of this, but the problem is, as long as Faceless Void is showing on the map, Stony Brook University knows that they can keep the pressure up.
Yeah, they have no chrono. They're going to turn right to the jungle, take out this shrine.
This is going to make Roshan a very difficult objective for RIT to defend.
This double Nether Blast is insane. It's so good.
Yes. Caudle. I knew there was going to be some fancy last pick going on with the Caudle, and I love it. Double Nether Blast, lots of harass, lots of tower damage as we see. The shrine is vulnerable, and check out how Stony Brook backed up. They didn't get overly aggressive.
Yep. Well, they did see the 4-man of RIT coming over with 2 wards. They did deward both of them, but there is still the one deep in the base
Faceless
of
Void
RIT.
wants to go on Sven on top of his shrine, actually bottom lane. Sven stole the bounty rune from him. Faceless Void is going, but I don't think... Oh my god, do they know? They don't know.
They don't see
know
him.
Time walk.
But that is...
Oh my god.
That is Ritz playing it real cool.
Yeah,
They smoke up with
call
3. They're going to go for this. They really want this Sven and the dual damage.
Okay, Sven is feeling good after that engagement. He's going to show in lane.
They did see him. I'm pretty sure Frankie saw him.
Okay, we're going to see. They have Blink Daggers on 2 of these heroes. No,
the Dire scan, and they don't see anyone except the Sven, so I think they're feeling pretty good about going for this kill.
Scared. Frankie.
They have no vision except the Void.
4 heroes committed, but they don't see Sven because of his positioning. Xanthos finds him. Are they going to go for the duel? Sven gets his shield. The duel follows up. A toss, a stun, but it doesn't look like they're going to get the damage. Unfortunately, and then Frankie hits a 4-man stun. He wands it. He runs away. Do they have anything they can get him? A blink on Xanthos. This might be what they need. They get Sven with the slow from Faceless Void. Okay, they finally take him out, but 4 heroes are committed. Taking the Sven out, well, SBU has committed 4 heroes top to pressure. The last T2 stopping, protecting a tier 3 in RIT base.
Yeah, the amount that you have to commit to kill this Sven is pretty rough for RIT, right?
4 heroes like
they
that,
commit
and they
4
don't
heroes, and they don't get the damage. Like duel had to be used right away, which is not what you want to see.
Yeah, they couldn't let Sven get out of there, so they had to do the early duel. Obviously, Xanthos would have liked to hold that for a bit. And the RIT is just trading the tier 2 tower just to get 30 more seconds of time to hit creeps because they know it's very difficult for them to take a fight in their current state.
Eradicate still doing really well, staying on par with the lifesteal here. Finished his Manta, going for his Scotty as his next item, and he's level 16. So let's take a look at the levels here. 16 on Medusa, 14 on the lifestealer with the Midas. So this is just really effective farming, and really, if you think about it, SBU's been grouping up, pushing, taking these objectives, and Lifestealer's XP growth is going to definitely be slowed as a result.
Speaking of SBU taking objectives, there's a big one in the middle of the map.
Yeah, is that Kongor? Is that what his name is?
They're going for Kongor.
Oh man,
I like it. Well, RIT's going to go for the T2 bottom. I think they must know what's going on because there is no attempt to defend Stony Brook's bottom tower.
And this is a trade you almost always see. Right?
RIT knows they don't want to take a fight. They get as much as they can without having to engage Stony Brook. Because at one point, Stony Brook is going to return to RIT's front doorstep, and RIT knows that it's very hard for them to repel Stony Brook, and they just want to get prepared for that.
They want to smoke up here on RIT. I think they know the Roche is happening, but it's too late.
It's Lifesteal, right? Because it's not like you're going to give Aegis to God Strength Sven.
Yeah. You want your Lifestealer just to be rage hitting the towers, kind of like what you do with Juggernaut. He's almost got his AC completed, so this is a really good build. A lot of times people either pick up the AC or the Deso, both really good damage dealing items, and I think the AC this game is better. So we'll see.
Lifestealer's been spotted out. He just has the Aegis. We have Faceless Void. He found all of RIT right up his hill. They're gonna
Void is gonna try and chrono the backline here.
Now, Faceless Void... Oh my god, Faceless Void didn't actually commit for that. He uses the Chronosphere to kill the Caudal. However, Decrepify has come out and followed up by the Wisp. A Sleep is going to put Caudal alive. They're going to keep Caudal alive, and a Fiend's Grip comes out. Now, with the Aegis, Lifestealer actually takes out Xanthos. Revenge for that duel. Eradicate's desperately trying to get in the fight to finish people off, but Dark Raider on Pugna is keeping everyone Decrepified so that only Caudal has fallen on his team. Now, Faceless Void in the backline with the Shadow Blade. It looks like he wants to go for a support, but speaking of killing supports, Faceless Void took him out.
Great Manta dodge.
With a fantastic mana dodge, that might be what they need to turn the fight. An avalanche from Doggy might be a great setup, but no. Doggy's used his kit, and then he's used his life. Eradicate is the next one up. He's taken out as well. 4 for 1.5 or 2, depending on how you want to look on that. There was a buyback used by Caudal and an Aegis expended. But RIT definitely is not the victor in that engagement.
I would say this Medusa needs to buy back to defend this Rax. They don't have the Aegis on Lifestealer, which is really nice, but Dark Raider just going to start chipping away at these bases again with this Chopper Magic Nether Blast, and I don't know what you do about it, really. It's so scary.
And they have to be careful because if Medusa goes down here, well, I think RIT might go down here. RIT is trying desperately to defend their base in a situation they very rarely find themselves with a team looking to finish the game off. Not just beat them, but beat them before 30 minutes. A 6k net worth for SBU is what Xanthos has caught the Lifestealer in a duel, and they're going to give Lifestealer a duel win because Frankie, the Eternal King himself, has shown up with a big old Stormhammer. In the meantime, the Illuminate and the Nether Blast spam is taking down the barracks, just like Lifestealer is stealing the lives of the players on RIT. The barracks has fallen. The whole lane has fallen. Doggy has been found. He's taken out. There's an Illuminate. But SBU is in a bit of a weakened state, except for this Lifestealer, who just is not slowing down. Eradicate cannot die. He does not have buyback, and that will open up every single lane, potentially even the T4, depending on how Stony Brook is looking. They're going to go on Eradicate right there. There is the... Oh, actually, a Stone Gaze, desperately trying to keep their footing in this game. RIT has managed to repel Stony Brook, at least for now, but Stony Brook's going to heal up, and they're going to come back.
Wow,
oh
Stony Brook. 1 racks down, 9,000 gold lead, 25 minutes into the game, and they are not slowing down at all.
This is a defining moment for the Rochester Institute of Technology, because not only is this going to mean they're going to go potentially into game 2 of a series without winning the first game, a situation they're not used to being in, but this is again a situation they're not used to being in. We have to see, can they adapt? Are they just a good enough team to roll over everyone else? But when they're on the back foot, are they able to bring it back, or are they just going to roll over and hand game 1 to Stony Brook University?
Yeah, man, I don't know. The Eradicate's timing on this Scotty was slowed down quite a bit by these buybacks. You've got this Legion commander who just feels so starved. Blade Mail doesn't really affect Lifestealer too much, so he needs to be he needs to be dueling the Pugna essentially in this game, because if they don't, the decrep plays by Dark Raider here are game winning, to say the least. He's been able to decrep during Chrono, he's been able to decrep during Duel. They have Bane, who's also fantastic at dealing with dual targets. So
yeah,
this
and Stony Brook,
yeah,
with
it's just incredible plays.
Oh no, they might find Faceless. This is the kill
they
want.
him.
They find him with the ward. There's the Stormhammer, followed by the Fiend's Grip. Hello, Lifestealer's here too. And Faceless Void is no longer there. He does have buyback, but this is going to open up Stony Brook a chance to go right back into RIT's base, and they immediately go for the D-Ward.
Now, Tiny top lane hiding in the trees. I don't think they see him. They should be pretty safe here. He's just... Doggy wants to cut the next creep wave. That's what he wants. He wants to cut the wave and back out. And it's a really smart play if he can do it.
I think Doggy's he's jonesing for some action here. This is not normally the position Doggy's in. Usually he's a great pacemaker for RIT. He can control the game with some big plays, but without a Blink Dagger, with Boots Bracer at 27 minutes, this is not a standard performance from Doggy. This is a great performance from Stony Brook shutting down RIT.
Yeah,
right before we get into RIT's push on the top lane here, I want to continue on with what you were saying earlier. Because of the great front line of Sven and Lifestealer, the amount of pressure they're allowed to apply, Dark Raider has no pressure in the back line to just completely control the fight with the decreps, as you pointed out. There is
he's got
nothing,
a link
like,
now too. He can't be
just
dual.
relaxed in the back line. Nothing is stopping him from just making all the right moves. There's no pressure. He can just think everything through. A very easy game for him, and he's making it a very easy game for his team so far against the Grand Champions.
This Crimson Guard, the AC, the Sven Shield, there is so much damage mitigation on the side of Stony Brook here, and that's not even counting the decrep and the saves from Bane. So it is very, very, very difficult for them to actually make a play here on RIT. The only scenario I can see is a beautiful 3 to 4 man Chrono on the back line. And that is the only way that's going to work. Because you can't dual Pugna anymore.
Key. No. A Chrono Stone Gaze would be the dream right now for RIT, but they already had it once. We'll see if Stony Brook is going to make that mistake again.
I don't think Dark Raider will. I expect Dark Raider to be playing very far back. In the last duel, he just put his life drain on his Lifestealer, and you can't kill him at that point. It's not going to happen.
Doggy actually gets caught out. Xanthos is going to get him back into the fight, or get him away from the fight, rather, with the press the attack. I agree with what you said about Pugna. Because of the Aether Lens too, again, Dark Raider's Pugna is in no position to be a part of this fight. He is the Overseer. He is the Puppet Master. He's behind his team. He has a fantastic defense from Sven and Lifestealer, and he can just make all the calls and press all the buttons while never being in danger. He's long range. He has a Lincoln Sphere. But speaking of items, the Scotty is finally picked up on Medusa for potentially the final battle of the game.
Yeah, but is it too little too late, you know? It seems...
And level 20.
Ooh, there's a smoke here from SBU. They're looking at the jungle here, hoping to find someone, but it looks like they're just going to settle for the shrine.
Straight for the shrine.
Doggy almost got caught by this. This was so close.
Now, they know what's going on. So RIT knows what's going on. The shrine is being hit. So once again, Faceless Void takes his time to go bottom. The T2 has been taken down. After he pushes the wave, he's going to hide in the tree.
Yep, runs into Coddle. He blinks out. He needs to get out of here. I really like that RIT is spreading the map right now. This is something that we talked about. They need to stretch this game as long as they can, and if it wasn't Ritz bottom, it was Eradicate before, but Eradicate actually going for the rune here and might be in trouble.
This is the sign you know that. Oh,
Shu
shoot! Actually, there
dead.
it is. He even uses the Wisp. Does the Wisp have the gold bounty?
There's 3 people coming in for this fight right now.
A Decrepified goes out. Medusa's in danger. There's no shrine for his team to teleport. He goes for the Stone Gaze, but knows he's not here to fight. He's here to run. Great play by Frankie. He tries to turn around, but getting a little too aggressive. He turns around too soon and gets actually stunned up. Now,
so RIT's here, but there is a fantastic ward to scout this movement.
Oh, this might be the bait they need. The Storm Hammer comes out. They're going on Medusa. Doggy comes in with an avalanche. This is going to buy Medusa some time to get away. However, almost everyone is here. We're seeing a teleport in. Faceless Void will be here soon. Medusa running low on mana. He's in a very dangerous position. We're trying to buy him time. Out of mana. The Fiend's Grip comes out. Medusa is taken out. There is the Chronosphere, but unfortunately, it went on Xanthos, Legion Commander. It looks like they're only going to get a support. Doggy finishes him off in the backline. Now, Sven is in trouble, however, so is Legion Commander, who's used Duel. His wounds have been opened, and he has been bashed up. Taken out, 3 heroes down, only 2 available with the buyback. Medusa not being one of them. We're trying to defend his towers. He gets caught out by all 3 cores on Stony Brook University and is beat down in his own base with no friends around him. The 4 remaining players from RIT have to defend their base without their captain Eradicate. First, they're going to deal with the creeps in the mid lane, get them off the T4. They still have a lane of Rax bottom that they can rely on if this goes down. Are they going to choose to fight? It looks like Stony Brook University is able to take the buildings too quick, and RIT just wants to get the creeps out of the base, buy as much time as they can, wait the 1 minute the Medusa is left without buyback.
Doggy did cut the next wave top. There's just 2 catapults. Bot lane, they did some chip damage to this tier 3, but boy, is this game looking good for SBU. I don't know how you come back from this. This Pugna just picks up a Dagon. He was opting for the Aghanim Scepter, but realizes, hey, I just want to kill people.
Mm-hmm. The Sven and Lifestealer alone are being able to fight back all 5 players on RIT, so that the remaining 3 Stony Brook players, Coddle, Bane, Pugna, can just enter the fight and do whatever they want and get the highest value out of all of their spells. And RIT is unable to deal with the aggression, the amount of damage that Lifestealer and Sven are putting out, and I don't know if I feel bad for RIT or if I'm impressed for Stony Brook. Honestly, it's both right now.
Oh well, no. They just found Xanthos, and look who's up by asleep here.
No, someone's sleeping on the job. Faceless Void has been found. I don't know if they see him. They do not, but they do find the Ogre. Stony Brook has taken out Word, who does not have a buyback, followed up by Xanthos, who does not have a buyback. Immediately, Faceless Void goes to cut a wave. Doggy is desperately trying to repel the beat squad. We were just talking about Lifestealer and Sven as they enter RIT's base. Now, tier 4 are Mega Creeps. They go for Mega Creeps because they already have 2 Raxes down. Mega Creeps is essentially a win condition, although not a guarantee. This is the last tier 3 tower, and I mean, it's just getting rushed. Fortification comes out, 5 more seconds are bought, but they're still 30 away from Legion Commander. A Medusa is put to sleep, he's decrepified, he's Dagon, a great double Storm Hammer, aka the taxi for Lifestealer on top of the Wisp, on top of the Fiend's Grip. Medusa is there, and then she is erased. She is not part of this game for 75 seconds, buyback. The only thing stopping RIT's Ancient from being taken is the 2 tier 4s. Shu is laughing. Dark Raider thinks that this is a nice game, and RIT is taking these last seconds to discuss what is going on before going into Game 2. Down a match, we have just witnessed Stony Brook not only take a game from the Grand Champions, take a game in less than 35 minutes with 3 times their kill score. Fantastic execution. Stony Brook University is looking hot today, Ricky.
Dude, that was an amazing performance by Stony Brook. This is something that you don't see often, right? RIT didn't just struggle in the lane phase, they struggled every step of this game, and it's really because Stony Brook just executed flawlessly. They just have RIT's number, dude. They have been striving so hard to take this team down, and they are ready. This is crazy, dude. This is so good.
They figured it out. But yeah, RIT, they had some plays, but it didn't feel like they ever really got into the game too much. Actually, looking at the hero damage right now, Ogre Magi was the 2nd highest damage for RIT. By actually a noticeable amount too, to be honest.
Yeah, this Faceless Void did not get to do anything this game. Faceless Void does not do well against high armor heroes like this Sven and this Lifestealer. And then we talked about the damage mitigation, right? They have the shield, they have the Crimson Guard. Like, you're just not going to do anything. Like, Lifestealer picks up an Assault Cross. This Void's going to tickle them, right? It's going to be like a 20 damage. Like, oh, man. You just feel bad for Ritz in this game. Like, there is nothing he can do.
Poor guy. And another thing I want to point out going into this game is, first of all, the draft. First phase Coddle, you know something's up. You know there's a combo that we want to see going on, and we're like, okay, you know, Fen, maybe there's gonna be some Stormhammer, but it's the last pick, Pugna. I believe Stony Brook was holding on to that pick. They had that in their pocket. They knew that's what they wanted against RIT the entire series. And you pointed out, the Pugna Blast, Chakra Magic, Pugna Blast put so much pressure on RIT. They have never had to play that fast. They've always had time to allow Eradicate to get to critical mass, to be an unstoppable force that pushes them to victory. And even with Eradicate doing a fantastic job farming to keep on that net worth, as his map just kept getting smaller and smaller, it was too much coming out of RIT. But that being said, if I can add on to that, this is a best of 3 series.
Yep.
This is not who can win one game. This is which team is better. And now RIT, they kind of got smacked in the face. They got cold water dumped on their head. They're awake. And they're going to prove why they are the grand champions here, or they are going to have to hand the crown over to the Eternal King himself, Frankie, Stony Brook University. When I talked to RIT, especially Doggy specifically was saying he loves best of 3 because it's about learning the team, learning how they want to play, what they want to do. There may be a meta in Dota, but there's also a meta in the series based on each team's strengths. And we're going to see if RIT can figure out what Stony Brook University likes the same way it looks like Stony Brook has figured out RIT.
Yeah, this is going to be I'm really excited for the draft here. I think RIT know they have to change it up. I can expect that we might see a Sven or a Lifestealer ban in this next phase.
The respect.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting. I really want to just give everyone a moment to breathe, relax after game number 1 because of how intense that was. And we're going to be going into game number 2 here in just a few minutes. So please just stick by. Don't go too far. And grab a drink, relax, grab the popcorn, as you're really going to need it for this next game. So we'll be right back.
See you guys again soon.
Fantasy upside down.
All right, everyone, we're back here, getting ready to go into game number 2 between Rochester Institute of Technology and Stony Brook University. Stony Brook University up 1-0 against the defending champions RIT, something we have not seen at all in CSL. This is so insane. Oh, now
with that level of play, this might be the first time RIT's ever been 2-0'd.
Dude, this is
what I didn't think I was going to be saying that today, and I've been thinking about this match all month.
Dude, I didn't think Rochester... I did not think RIT would get 2-0'd ever. This team is phenomenal, but Stony Brook...
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. These guys are insane.
Yeah.
But today, Stony Brook University demands respect. They deserve respect for that level of play. Even if the series ends 2-1, that game 1,
that was phenomenal.
Fierce. They are deadly.
And let's take a look at really quick how these teams got here. We have the bracket here for the Winter Invitational. So this is how both these teams got where they are. They first had to qualify for the Winter Invitational, and then they both had to take 3 series to get to the grand finals. So
how did they take those series, Ricky?
Pretty handedly. RIT first taking out Georgia, then University of Michigan, and then University of Santa Cruz to get to the grand final. Stony Brook.
The Santa Cruz series was great.
The Santa Cruz series was so
both fantastic
good.
teams. I have a lot of respect for Santa Cruz, even though that's a 2-0, that did not feel like a very one-sided match.
Yeah, honestly, all of RIT's games were difficult for RIT. I don't think they were very. They weren't stompy one way or the other, essentially. Stony Brook, on the other hand, had to take out Ohio State, Southern Methodist University, and Berkeley. So both of these teams have had pretty difficult journeys here to get to the Winter Invitational, and it's pretty obvious to see why they're here, right? Both these teams playing extremely well, but Stony Brook, man, they're looking freaking hot.
Unfortunately, the Berkeley match was a forfeit win due to some schedule mishaps. I talked to Shu about it, and I believe he's upset. I mean, obviously he's happy. He just got to go straight to the grand finals. But because Berkeley was killing it. Berkeley took out Carleton 2-0. Carleton was a top seed. Berkeley was a bottom seed for the placement here. Berkeley then went up to follow with a 2-0 against the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And Shu said they would have been great games. Or he specifically said they would have been great games if they played. He believes he would have won, but I believe Shu wanted to play Berkeley, and I know I'm sure I'm speaking for both of us when I say we both wanted to watch and cast those games.
Yeah, I'm honestly tempted to reach out to these teams just to see if they want to reschedule the match to play it more of just for fun at this point, obviously not for placement or anything.
I would watch that.
But this is a game that we wanted to cast so bad. We really wanted to watch ourselves, so maybe it's something that we'll think about doing if we can get the time for both these teams. But we're going to go back to your beautiful mug here, and what are you excited? What should we see in game number 2 here between these teams? What do you want to see?
The draft is what I'm most excited to. We already know that Stony Brook University has came with both teams have came with a strategy, but Stony Brook has came with a clear-cut strategy. From first pick to last pick, they were waiting on that. First phase Caudle to last pick Pugna, double Nether Blast. They were waiting to pull that out of their pocket. But the MVP, honestly, in my mind, is Frankie on Sven and Remilia on Lifestealer. They were the duo. They put too much pressure for RIT to handle. Those 2 heroes alone caused RIT to go into panic mode. And as we discussed multiple times, Dark Raider, who I believe is the highest ranked player on SBU, although all their players are very high ranked.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore.
Dark Raider, again, just got to play the commander. He got to sit in the back and control the fight with never once being pressured as the end of the laning phase. And we can see that with his score, 5-0 and 16, was never in danger. So the draft is what I'm most excited to see. What is SBU going to do in game 2? Do they try and go for the same thing? They know what works. They know it works very well. Or do they do something new? On that note, I want to see what RIT does, because the whole game of the best of 3 is how do you adapt? How do you change? What did they learn from that? And what do they take away from it? There's a reason that we're looking at a nearly 5-semester win streak for RIT. And it's not just because everyone rolls over and dies against them. They know how to play. They know how to learn from their mistakes, and they know how to adapt. So this is when it comes down to it. They have to prove that they are the best now. They do not have another game to fall back on. I want to see what they're going to do. The big changes I'd like to see, Doggy on Tiny didn't do it for me. Doggy does it for me almost every game. But I will say right now, that was not some doggy style play.
That wasn't.
That
No, it
was,
wasn't at all.
the blink dagger. He just felt like he couldn't get into the game. That being said, too, Xanthos on Tidehunter has been one of my favorite player hero combinations throughout the entire Winter Invitational. Not just because he's been on it, I think, every single game except for once, but because how he plays it. He wins his lane and he gets this insane momentum. He gets in front of his team. He tells them to get behind me. I'm going in, and he goes in and he sets his team up for success. He can play sacrificially, but when you're playing a hero that well, even when he's trying to sacrifice himself for his team, he ends up pulling some crazy maneuvers and staying alive and making it look easy.
Yep.
That's what I want to see from Xanthos. Eradicate something quick. It's so often Eradicate's given 20 minutes to hit creeps and then the game's over. This time he didn't get 20 minutes to hit creeps and the game was over, but not in the way it usually is.
Yep.
All that being said, honestly, Ricky, I could talk about the draft for another hour, but the draft is what I really want to see. Is there anything a little wild you're looking for here?
I don't know.
You would love to see?
I'm wondering if RIT has a second strategy they maybe been planning. One thing that we talked about a lot and that we mentioned in the last cast was how teams adapt to new patches, right? And this is a patch that really did change a lot kind of under the hood, but maybe a lot of people don't realize it. And I think RIT knows what the big changes are, but it seems that SBU really know what the big changes were. And they're taking advantage of it. You can see just in their draft alone, they're like, this is how we want to play. And Rochester, maybe they're going to make some make some big changes here in the next game, but I don't know. Like, this could just, I don't want to say like, oh, SBU is just playing better because they understand the patch already and RIT doesn't. Like, that would sometimes be a fair thing to say, but the way SBU plays is so convincing that it is hard to disagree that they are just a phenomenal team and potentially a better team.
After game one, you have a strong case to make that claim. We're going to go into the draft, but I would like to just once again alley-oop my boy over here. That's the beauty of Dota. And I think that's what keeps myself, maybe you, maybe many of our fans, but so many people around the world just invested in Dota is there's the knowledge aspect. And in this case, it's understanding the patch. But it's not just the knowledge, it's the execution. And some players can excel with knowledge and some players can excel with execution. And at the highest level of play, it's the combination of both. We know both these teams understand the draft, or not the draft, the patch, but the execution of SBU, it's just
flawless. Everything from the way they played the map, their warding by the supports was so good. Every time that I looked at their vision, they had it exactly where they wanted to be. And they would play fights around it. They would wait to see where RIT was making their movements, and then they play off of it. Like, it seems like they just are playing as one unit. They know exactly what they want to be doing.
It's all going according to plan for Stony Brook.
You want to just jump into the draft here? Like, well, how do you feel?
Players have. Let's join them in the draft, Ricky. Let's get in here.
All right, we're gonna go right in.
This could be the last game.
Dude, this could. We're game number 2 here between RIT and the Eternal Kings themselves. Stony Brook taking the first game off RIT. The draft here. Tell me, what do you recognize from the draft already?
Doggy, man.
He's feeling pretty unlucky.
I don't think we're gonna see Azure Spirit. I'm gonna call it now. First phase. The Ogre, I mean, that makes sense. The Ogre was second highest damage. For RIT. First phase pick. They like to play. RIT bans out the Tiny. They don't want to see Doggy on the Tiny.
I would like to see him on Tusk. I still think Tusk is a good hero.
I would love to see. That is the classic. That was what Doggy was playing in the grand finals when they took it home, and that will always be. Doggy is good at a lot of heroes. But Tusk is, when I think of RIT's Doggy, I always think of his Tusk. It's beautiful what he does with it, and his synergy with his team.
The Medusa.
Okay, all right. I mean, you know what? I don't actually like that ban because I don't think RIT will go for Medusa again with how fast SB played.
Yeah, it doesn't seem likely, but it's possible that they have a different group of heroes that they wanted to play around the Medusa. It's interesting. I think RIT, they're afraid to give them this, like, a similar draft again. I know Wirt loves the Bane, so I know both teams now, they're going to be fighting over this hero. They banned the Coddle, and they might just give him the Bane again.
Respect to my man Shu.
The Grimstroke, actually. Lich is still in this pool, by the way.
Now, I'm not a fan of Grimstroke. I mean, I love the hero, but he's such a safe first pick, and I completely can understand why teams like it. But we have seen in the past teams go for the first pick Grimstroke, and then they figure out where they want to take their strategy after the opposing team makes their first phase. And it's a few times we've seen Grimstroke just not really make sense with the strategy. Although he combos with many heroes, he doesn't combo with everybody.
Yeah. Very good pick. Okay. All
right, there's the Lich.
This is what I expected. I was like, I don't think they're going to let them take the Lich.
Lich Jug? Something safe for game 2 or something wild? Lich Sven?
This is a better version of Lich Jug.
It is also a block pick. They know that there's a fantastic Sven player, the namesake of the team. They're not going to let it happen.
I was going to say, I don't think RIT gives them a similar draft, right? And I would love to see RIT take the Sven and have Xanthos play it. This is a hero similar to the Tidehunter, but just he feels more powerful than before, right? He got nerfed in this patch, but he just feels like he's still so good.
Yes. Sven has been seeing a lot of
the Lifestealer. So they ban the Lich immediately.
Strength core.
So this they don't want to let them get the Jug Lich, but they get the Sven, trade for the Lifestealer. Sven's actually good against Lifestealer in lane. He's one of the only heroes that's good against Lifestealer in lane. So I was thinking, I was like, if they're gonna let them take the Lifestealer again, I would expect RIT to take the Sven. The reason being, Sven has good damage mitigation, he has high armor, he's good at trading. So Lifestealer, yes, has a lot to work with the Feast, but Sven has good lockdown. Lifestealer doesn't do great when you take a 300 damage nuke to the face, especially if there's like a Lich or something else in there that they can combo. So I think this is actually a good pickup here from RIT. It might put a little bit more pressure on the Lifestealer than getting game 1.
And the Lifestealer pick is revealed in the first phase. So RIT, not only do they have, they can draft around it, they also know how Stony Brook wants to play it, unless Stony Brook's going to play the old bait and switch and put it somewhere else.
I think this is, I think you're right. But let's look at bans really quick. Is it just me, or is SBU,
I don't think we're going to see an Eradicate Sniper.
Yeah, is SBU just really upset with Eradicate's hero pool? The Medusa, the Sniper, his OD, like self-banned essentially. So what is left for Eradicate at this point?
There it is, baby. There it is, baby. Thank you, Doggy Dota. Here we go. We are in for a treat upon treats. That is the cherry on the icing on the beautiful SBU RIT cake.
He's also a hero that's good against Lifestealer. Let's just point that out. Has the ability to stop his rage TP. You can snowball the open wounds, and just get away from Lifestealer. Like, this is a hero he fits this draft really well so far, and I'm really excited. You can also snowball people out of the oh my gosh, what is
Inkswell?
No, the Inkswell, but also his ult. Soulbind, yeah, you can snowball people out of Soulbind. So pretty good.
The counterplay available for Tusk is amazing right now, because it also restricts Lifestealer's movement. Lifestealer is susceptible to being kited, because when he rages, he often open wounds. If you have a Force Staff or even an Ice Shards, you can get your heroes away. Playing Tusk versus Grimstroke in lane is really fun because of the counterplay with Snowball and Inkswell. We're going to see a Treant picked up as the second support for SBU, a hero we don't see often, but you have been praising the strength heroes. And I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a weird pick to me. I don't think Treant... He feels kind of like an odd hero right now.
Seems very good against Sven, and I would have to imagine that SBU knows the ins and outs of Sven with how they played it. So maybe that might have been one of those where Sven players just hate playing against Treant.
I imagine this has to be a Treant in the off lane. I can't imagine they're going to put Treant with Lifestealer. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that seems a bit silly. With Lifestealer getting the Inkswell.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Lifestealer can just open wound someone into an Inkswell. I feel like that's just so good.
Now, I have not. I've played the Grimstroke Tusk matchup as Tusk many times. I believe it is Tusk favored, although it is based on the play of both from both heroes. I don't know Tree versus Tusk. I don't think Tree is never really afraid of man fighting. Not only does he has the highest base damage in the game, he is taking life with Life Leech as well.
Yeah,
or Leech Seed rather.
Yeah, the Leech Seed, but he also has his Living Armor as well. And Living Armor did get buffed in this patch. I don't know if it was significant enough, but it was a relative amount. It was really the block damage that got changed. I don't think they actually changed the healing amount.
I believe, what is it? Is it 25, 50, 75, 100? I can pull it up.
25 per level now. The 100 block damage is pretty crazy, actually.
It is, yeah, 25. Intervals of 25.
So it's interesting to say the least.
Terrorblade, okay.
So
is that the Eradicate? That seems like an Eradicate style of hero.
I think this is Ritz. I think that's Ritz's
they
hero.
Have the last pick for Eradicate this time. Okay, Timbersaw. They got the tree and they got the tree cutter. Counter synergy, SBU. What's going on?
I'm gonna really like to see Timbersaw accidentally cut down Treant's protectors, like little grove he planted around himself. This is interesting. Terrorblade does not do super good against Timbersaw in lane. But Terrorblade is a pretty decent matchup against Lifestealer. The main reason being is Terrorblade usually can build a couple items that can get him out of the Lifestealer's like threat range. But he also has a massive amount of physical damage, so you can usually chew into him. This is interesting.
I mean, Timbersaw in lane is just so annoying. He hits his like power spike in lane very quick with the reactive armor, and then he just does whatever he wants. The mid game is Timbersaw's favorite part of the game, where he just gets to do he just gets to play single player. He doesn't care what anyone else is doing; he just kills them. He doesn't care about ice shards.
Yeah,
Pugna, I like that. Dark Raiders Pugna was amazing, especially against the Sven. Sven already has to deal with overgrowth.
Hear me out here.
Okay.
SBU might pick up Shadow Fiend.
Okay. Why are you liking the Shadow Fiend?
I think they're gonna try. I would think that maybe the Shadow Fiend going for the Guardian Greaves build would be pretty good this game.
What about getting ganked by the doggy Tusk though in the laning phase? That would be my biggest concern.
I was like, that's the thing you have to worry about with the Shadow Fiend, but you do have Treant Protector with the living armor. So it's one of those things where they might be able to keep him alive. But it's a hero that kind of fits Dark Raider's playstyle, I think. So we'll see. I know he used to play the hero a ton.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering.
I have never been upset with a Shadow Fiend pick. I'll say that now, and I don't think I ever will be upset with a Shadow Fiend pick.
It's pretty good against Terrorblade in the early game if they want to try and take this quick.
Razor again, and they go for the immediate Kunkka pick.
Okay.
Very reliable hero.
All right.
Lots of lockdown for Sven. So outside of BKB, Sven is going to have a difficult time.
Tusk here, I feel like Tusk is good against Kunkka though. You just snowball, right? You just snowball
snowball's a fantastic save.
Everything.
I think that if RIT, I'm just going to say it right now before RIT finishes the draft, if we're going to game 3, I'm calling it right now, Tusk is not going to make it.
I'm pretty sure you pick Monkey King for Eradicate.
5 seconds remaining.
Ooh.
I'm like almost positive.
Oh, but remember Treant has tree phasing now, which might have an impact on the tree dance.
True, but I'm thinking just like how you need to win this mid lane matchup. The other lanes might draw. I think Sven should win.
Yeah.
But Terrorblade's lane is going to be kind of difficult, and so I'm wondering if you go Monkey King.
Tinker!
Oh my
It makes sense with the Terrorblade. Bring it late. Terrorblade will outcarry everybody, and then the supports aren't going to be doing it in the late game, really. Actually, even Timbersaw has a very difficult time staying relevant into the late and super late game.
I worry about Tinker because playing Tinker into a Timbersaw, Kunkka, and Treant Protector doesn't seem very easy.
Especially, again, with the tree phasing from Treant. Tinker wants to blink into the trees, but Treant can find him.
Yeah, and then he just immediately interrupts your TP. And Kunkka with X, Timbersaw just cuts trees down. Yeah. So this is scary. I think Eradicate knows how well he can play this hero. It seems like a difficult Tinker game, but he might be able to do it. If anyone can do it, it's Eradicate.
It's got to be a comfort pick going into game 2. 1 game down. I don't recall the last time I've seen Eradicate play Tinker, but I am excited to see him play it nonetheless.
I feel like Lifestealer is really not even bad against him either because he just rages off the blind.
Yep.
Can you laser? You can't laser BKB, right?
No, I don't believe so.
So there's no way to purge that. Oh man. Whew. I don't know. I really like.
This is a lot on Ritz to pull it through with the Terrorblade. They're all in it, but Terrorblade is a hero that does that. Laser does not pierce magic immunity, and here we go. Game number 2, Ricky.
This is gonna be crazy.
Very quickly in.
Well, I guess I'll just start by introducing the lineup here. From the Game 1 winners of Stony Brook University, we got Shu playing the Treant Protector, a hero new to the scene here. We haven't seen too much. We have Grimstroke offlane being played by Nozom. We've got Frankie, the Eternal King himself, on Timbersaw. Had a phenomenal game last time on the Sven. We've got Dark Raider on the Kunkka mid. And we've got Remilia on a very similar hero as last game. Oh, wait. It's the same hero.
He's warmed up and ready.
He's already warmed up and ready to go.
Let's keep an eye on bottom lane while we do the introductions, because it looks like these three heroes might go straight out, and Shu's going to scout them out right away.
He's like,
RIT on the brink of losing their chance at the first ever 5 semesters straight win streak. Eradicate, last pick, they go for the Tinker. He's going to be facing off mid. Bottom lane, Xanthos will be playing on Sven. Top lane, we have Ritz, Faceless Void will be playing on Terrorblade, hopefully having the game stalled out so we can take it over. Doggy Dota playing his championship winning Tusk right here, already with the tag team ready to brawl. And last but surely not least, the second highest damage from last game from position 5 worked on Lich.
Now, one thing to note, I was saying, look where Ritz is. He came bottom because he does not want to go into this Grimstroke Lich. I think they're trying to dodge the lane here. So we'll see.
Shu doesn't go for it.
Oh,
2 for 2 though, better than last time.
And Shu just clocks Wirt in the face.
Easy. They cut his tree. That was the right tree to cut. And gets a little bit of damage back. Shu's not too concerned.
Yeah, no, he has good regen.
2 teleports.
And
look at that. They immediately swapped the tri lane. Oh my god, because they know it got scouted. But, any sight from SBU knows. SBU sees it. They with the reward. So, Stony Brook knows exactly what's going on, and now that's a solo Xanthos versus 2 big bruisers bottom lane. Xanthos is actually taking a lot of damage right out the gate. He has to Stormhammer. He goes for the hit, but he needs to run away.
Lane, Frankie, not good. Level 1 on Timbersaw.
There is... Oh,
First
baby!
blood to Ritz.
Timbersaw gets going very early, and he does not slow down, but I will say, level 1, he is not that scary. Reacto Armor, he is a passive. It takes 5 hits to get to max power, 6 hits to get max power, and it's really not that strong. Once it gets to level 2, though, that is a different spell altogether.
Bottom lane.
And they're going to go right back on him. He walks in. The tag team in the Frost Blast. The Metamorphosis still hasn't gone down. They're going for the body block to actually take him out again. Oh my gosh, Ricky, what is going on?
I mean, that's 2 kills on Frankie. He has no TP back to lane. He has to walk. He is so starved for experience. Now, one thing to note about Timbersaw since last patch, they did actually change reactive armor pretty significantly. It's worse at lower stacks, better at higher stacks, but just barely. It's almost the same at higher stacks. So they increased the regen percentage per level, but it is significantly worse until it gets to the higher stacks on reactive armor.
Shu teleports top, gets a hit on Terrorblade, and followed up by an Inkswell. The high damage coming out from Shu might be enough to take out Terrorblade, not quite enough. Doggy shows up with the tag team and beats back that tree. Get out of here! Now we're going to see a try versus try scenario. However, Timbersaw is going to suffer from lack of levels, whereas Terrorblade is going to excel from the farm he gets, committing 3 heroes to his lane.
Look at mid lane, Tinker, #1 on CS.
This is Eradicate.
This Sven v Lifestealer matchup, I kind of talked about this. I was like, Lifestealer, yes, he gets to hit high health target. Sven, though, eventually will be okay, I think.
Yeah. Xanthos is used to Suicide Lane.
Oh, but he's going to max feast, so really good choices here by Lifestealer.
Ooh, that's the adaptation we want to see in the draft, and now we're seeing it in execution. Changing his build-up based on the laning phase. I love that. RIT though, they came back and they have their chest stuck out and their chin is up. RIT walks the lane immediately. Oh, there we go! Whiskey the Stout Penguin coming out from Doggy. Haven't seen that friend in a while. And a 3rd kill top lane, 3-0 for RIT. Looking for a 4th. RIT want to remind the Eternal King that they're the ones wearing the crown in this series, and it's Stony Brook that needs to take them off their throne. 3-0, and now it has just hit the 3-minute mark.
This top lane is so good. There's not a lot you can do against this. There's so much damage coming out between the Tusk and the Lich. And you just allow Terrorblade to kind of just free farm. Like, he doesn't have to worry about a whole lot here. He's in a little bit of trouble, actually. Gets rooted up here. Taking quite a bit of damage.
There's the Leech Seed is taking quite a bit of damage, but a Metamorphosis and a Frost Shield comes out. It's going to be a trade. And Terrorblade actually fell first, so she was going to collect that XP. RIT maybe getting a little bit ahead of themselves.
Yeah, Doggy was pulling, so it's kind of hard to be making that aggressive of a play when the support who really is the frontliner for that lane and putting out a lot of the damage isn't there.
Yeah, I agree. I think they are strong as 3, but as 2, not so much. Grimstroke actually harassing Doggy at the pull, manages to snake one of the last hits. Decent enough deal. Sharing the golden XP with 3 heroes. They'll take what they can get. Shu is now scouting the double support roam of RIT, seeing what they want to do. And here we go. We're going on Timbersaw, the tag team, the Frost Blast. There's no Metamorphosis. They managed to take out the Timbersaw. The Ice Shards are keeping the players on RIT safe. However, Lich is getting chased on by a tree who hits him for like a 1/6 of his health. Just chunking him. And it looks like there's a little bit of a kerfuffle at the bottom rune.
Dark Raider hit a beautiful torrent, totally blind, catches Eradicate, and is able to bottle the rune. So Eradicate doesn't even get the deny on it. That's a huge regen swap for this lane.
Yeah, the mid lane's going a little bit back and forth. The play with Torrent, now the bottle for Dark Raider on Kunkka. Be able to pull him ahead. CS wise, it's pretty close. However, definitely Kunkka favored 26 and 4. Tinker's 20 and 2. What's the CS looking like bottom, and how's the lane going for our man Xanthos?
It's definitely Remelia. Remelia is going to be number 1 on the CS here. Xanthos looking to get the runes.
Oh, look at this rune race bottom. The Stormhammer, open wounds, the bait. Remelia's going to go for 2, but there's a Tinker coming. Does he go? No, he doesn't.
He just kind of secures it for the Tinker's bottle.
Yeah.
Doggy in a lot of trouble at the top
Inkswell
lane.
on Doggy, but a Frost Shield, a great Ice Shards is going to buy Doggy a bit of time, but Timbersaw was not blocked out, and he's going to cut that Yeti up.
He just got his level 3 there from a couple creeps dying, so he didn't have Snowball there to dodge the damage. And we talked about how important Snowball is for Tusk this game. So
offensive and defensive capability, one of the most effective, one of the best spells in the game because it can be used in almost any situation. Tusk hits a huge power spike at 3 when he gets his full kit. He can turn a full mana bar into a kill extremely reliably, especially when he has 2 other heroes attacking the target in tag team. I'd also like to point out the tag team synergizes very well with ranged heroes. Speaking of Metamorphosis, is on a 1-second cooldown. Metamorphosis is up. That is 2 ranged heroes that are going to benefit from Doggy's.
Oh, they find Shu.
They find Shu. Actually, a great job by Grimstroke. Ooh, baby, very quick. I don't know if they want to go on Timbersaw. They might. So here it is, the Snowball. They get the tag team on top of him, and Inkswell is going to get a big stun on Tusk, but it's inside the Ice Shards. Word is trying to do as much as he can, but as tag team goes down, worse damage falls. Tusk falls before the Timbersaw, but a Metamorphosis Terrorblade is going to keep the pressure up for RIT and allow them to finish this fight in their favor. However, it ended up being only a 1-for-1 trade.
Middle lane, Eradicate gets boated.
Oh no!
Gets the blind though.
The blind, he's running.
And he has a regen rune too.
Xanthos shows up. Eradicate is bottling up. Xanthos has the strength of God, and he's not going to let anyone touch his mid player. Get out of this lane. A huge sword, but a bigger heart. Xanthos chased down Dark Raider, who hits a great torrent. However, Terrorblade was taken out. Let's see if we can get an Ice Shards from downtown. A long TP.
Not gonna happen.
He's not gonna make that. Xanthos hasn't given up yet.
So Dark Raider actually got a great cleave on the Sven. So Sven, kind of running around to the front side of him there, allowed him to cleave Eradicate's regen rune. So it does slow down Eradicate. He probably could have just sat there, clear out these stacks in the jungle, and just return to the lane. But instead, he's gonna go to Fountain because he doesn't really have a choice here. And in the meantime, Ritz dies top to this Timbersaw again.
Metamorphosis. Every time Metamorphosis is up, Timbersaw dies. Metamorphosis is down, Terrorblade dies. Very back and forth, however, we're still favoring RIT 6-4 on kills, but net worth is slightly in Stony Brook's favor, but only by less than 1,000.
Dark Raider mid lane, X's up Doggy. Doggy does have the snowball, so I think he's fine. Yep, we'll just get away. And that's good play by Dark Raider. Doesn't bother using the boat because he knows.
Inkswell going on. Lich top. The Inkswell damage with the tree beatdown is going to drop Lich very low. Frost Shield, not enough to get Lich away with the high amount of damage coming out from Stony Brook. In the meantime, Timbersaw is hitting that point where he becomes unstoppable, and we see that as he's just going to walk 2 creep waves on top of RIT's top tower, putting a lot of pressure on them.
And look at mid lane too. Dark Raider hitting mid tower.
Oh my
Frankie
gosh.
on the top, and bot lane, Xanthos is just trying to survive as Lifestealer, you know?
That's top CS in the game, Lifestealer, versus, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th CS.
Shu
Xanthos
finds Ritz in the jungle, but no support's coming anytime soon.
He's going to leech his XP, though, again, slowing him down, just like losing the top tier 1 is going to slow down Terrorblade's ability to farm. Terrorblade and Tinker soak up a large amount of farm. Dark Raider actually walks right into the jungle. Shu goes on Terrorblade. There is an X, there is a boat, there is a doggy, but he gets stunned up. They're going to drop the Terrorblade. No, he gets the Sunder off. Dark Raider might be in trouble now because Eradicate has shown up on the backline. It doesn't look like Dark Raider's going to drop, so let's check out what's going on in the jungle. And Shu gets taken out. No one on RIT has dropped yet. Inkswell is being used defensively, and so is RIT's Shrine. Grimstroke is going to make it away. And RIT...
he almost kills the Terrorblade. Terrorblade actually goes down to less than 100 HP to get that Sunder, and Dark Raider lives mainly because of the living armor, believe it or not. So Eradicate it doesn't bother using his mana. He almost, I think if he didn't have the living armor, he might have been able to snipe the Kunkka, but he did have boat buff and living armor, so it's pretty hard to take him out at that point. Top lane, Frankie gets stunned, does not get the Timber Chain off.
He's going to start regenning here. Sinister Gaze is going to hold him there, but Doggy's the one in trouble. Doggy needs to get away, and Xanthos has showed up to offer some damage. He throws the shield on his enemies. There's a slow coming out from the Frost Shield. There's a lot of damage coming out from the Terrorblade, but the mobility from Frankie is insane. He also has a Leech Seed healing him up. It looks like Frankie's going to make it away unless we see a Stormhammer here. There's no mana on this Sven, and Wirt is going to die. Doggy shows up, but he does not have the Walrus Punch. He's going to try his best to slow Frankie down. And Inkswell's going to come out. They kill him before it pops. They go for the Phantom, an easy 37 gold last hit. And now Terrorblade is going to look to turn this Metamorphosis that was kind of pushed to its limits to get a kill into some farm. In the meantime, Shu is just going to sit and leech. The supports are having a hard time getting levels, but they're making do with what they have. The supports are doing a great job in their limited state.
Yeah, Shu is just being such a nuisance.
And now we're a rotation from Xanthos. RIT knows that Dark Raider wants the mid tower. In fact, Dark Raider is actually going to leave, and Eradicate's going to deny mid lane. However, this will mean 2 towers have fallen on the side of RIT. All of Stony's Brook's towers
it is denied at least, so.
And oh no, Ricky, Remelia is getting exactly what he wants. Free farm with Midas bottom lane.
There it is.
What's his net worth looking like?
Top of the net worth, 5,100 versus the 45 on Terrorblade. Now, Terrorblade actually having as much farm as he does is pretty important. He's a hero that farms very quickly around the map, and typically in a lane that he was forced to jungle fairly early, you don't see him being this farmed. So I think he's okay. And Tinker, a hero that recovers really fast as well, especially with the amount of stacks in the jungle that are coming out. And I think he's going to get another set of stacks here.
Great job from Eradicate.
Wow. Gets all
That is what it takes to be the mid player for the Grand Champion of the CSL. Fantastic plays like that, knowledge and execution at
Doggy TPing in just to keep him alive. I think they thought that the Kunkka might have been real, so
get there
Doggy
right away.
TP's in just in case. Has a sentry ward, wants to make sure there might not be a ward there. But on the other side, Ritz in a lot of trouble. He actually doesn't X him for some reason.
Okay, but that's coming out. So is the boat. The Inkswell's going to hit. Then Tree's going to root him. There might be a Sunder. Yes, it hits on the tree. Terrorblade is back. The Chainfrost comes out, hitting on a creep. Grimstroke is brought very low. And then he's taken out by Xanthos. Tree looks like he might be slippery enough to make it away, but is Frankie going to make it away this time? A Sinister Gaze is going to hold him there. A snowball stops him from going anywhere.
Wow.
Actually, Tree dropped.
Yeah, Tree dropped on the side. He ran over to just ward there and block the camp, but dies in the process.
That's an 0 for 3 favoring RIT, still leading in kills, almost double the kills of Stony Brook. However, they are at a 2,000 net worth deficit due to the insane farm of the Lifestealer. Lifestealer is actually going to take, Lifestealer is going to take or attempt to take the last tier 1, but Eradicate will show up and defend a tower, something Tinker can easily and loves to do.
This is so reminiscent of game number 1, is it not? We see a fight around the shrine that RIT wins. We've seen we see Eradicate kind of trying to farm up on the map. Top lane, no
being
Doggy.
pursued top. A tree and a tree killer are chasing a
He's not level 6. Wow. Oh, Xanthos in the mid lane is in a lot of trouble, but so is Dark Raider here.
No. Eradicate is here. There's the blind. A snowball comes out. Dark Raider's walking through the march. He's held in the march.
The double damage.
Down Xanthos. He gets blinded up again. Eradicate desperately trying to get another spell off. Dark Raider has double damage, but he also is dead. All 4 heroes on RIT have shown up mid, though. That opens up the map for the rest of Stony. So
Dark Raider manages to cleave the kill onto the Sven, which is at least, you know, better than going 1-0 in that exchange. So not the end of the world, but he did go down himself, which you don't really want to do on Kunkka. This is a hero that can play really, really well around the map, secure kills for his team, and kind of a little bit of an overextension.
Yeah, he can catch up farm, but he doesn't really want to. He wants to let his Lifestealer be the one farming, and he's not going to catch up farm as fast as Terrorblade will. Now, a Chain Frost goes out on Frankie. Timbersaw, it does nothing. Snowball is going to get tusked into the fight quicker.
Look at Shoot.
Shoot doing.
He's just sitting on top of everyone Invis.
And it looks like they're going to go. He doesn't have the
Lich.
ult, but he's going to go on Lich because he knows the Chain Frost is down. Lich makes it away. They find
Great
Frankie.
shards.
And a Walrus Punch into a Stormhammer. There's going to be a boat. If Terrorblade can stay alive with Coco's Rub, he might be unkillable.
The snowball saves them both.
Timbersaw is baiting everybody with all of the survivability. He finally gets dropped down, but it looks like RIT might be in a bit of a dangerous position. They've lost their Lich. No, RIT is on the assault. Xanthos is pursuing Kunkka. Kunkka has no way to get away, but RIT doesn't realize that his teleport scroll's on cooldown for another 35 seconds.
They find Remelia in the jungle.
They find the lifesteal. This guy's been farming all game. He's worth so much. He's worth so much gold, and with the wall put up by Doggy, Terrorblade is able to finish him off. Xanthos taking the last hit. Over 300 gold goes in favor of Xanthos. 2-0. RIT is winning every single small engagement around the map and is still remaining nearly 2 times the amount of kills as Stony Brook.
That's such a kind of an awkward transition there for a Lifestealer, a hero that really doesn't want to be fighting right now. 2,000 of his net worth is invested in a Midas. Yeah. And you're not that powerful, so I'm kind of expected him to just stay bottom, threaten this tier 2 tower while his team makes space, returning to his jungle periodically, and shows up top and just dies.
I agree. I feel that Shu's vision was very useful, but the initiation not so much, because Shu initiated at level 5 with no overgrowth.
The Work grabs one of the wards there, and unfortunately they haven't killed that creep camp to know that that ward is blocking. Places one on high ground as well, misses it.
For SBU to take game 2, I feel as though Timbersaw is going to play a pivotal role. And Timbersaw's farm is suffering.
Timbersaw is not a hero that is gonna excel in this game, I think. The main reason being is, yes, he's good against this, against like the illusions of Terrorblade, but Terrorblade actually does so much physical damage so quickly that it's hard for Timbersaw to start mitigating it. Not to mention the magic damage that's going to be coming out from Lich, the Tinker, and the Tusk. So it seems pretty difficult for Timbersaw this game. I'd like to see him pick up like maybe a Hood of Defiance and a Vanguard.
He has it on the courier right now, I believe.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I am smart.
Yeah. What I was just saying is, I think the only opening for Stony Brook is in the mid game, and that's when Timbersaw excels.
Yep.
And if Timbersaw is not able to get the mid game he wants and not able to become the mid game pacemaker, then I think you're just going to watch RIT win this game in 20 minutes from now. Tinker and Terrorblade are insane in the late game, and they have no problem just staying on their side of the map and even taking over parts of the enemy side of the map to farm their way into the late game.
Yeah.
There's no pressure for RIT to end this early, whereas I feel like there's a lot of pressure for Stony Brook to try and get onto RIT's side of the map.
Yeah, now look top lane. They see Frankie here. It'll be interesting. He gets a great punch, denies the Timber Chain.
And then he holds them down with the Ice Shards. A lot of damage coming out from Timbersaw, though. The 2 supports. Oh, the double X. There's the boat. It's gonna hit. We see Lifesteal show up to another fight, and both supports are deleted.
Wait, can you not snowball if you get soulbinded?
Is it a leash?
I feel like that you should. I feel like you can snowball. It looked like he was trying to snowball there, but then just couldn't get it off. I'm not sure if it's because of the movement.
I think you can't. And I think you can put someone in a snowball that has been soulbinded, but I don't think you can snowball out of it because I don't believe Tusk can snowball out of like leashes and such. Snowball is not as powerful as it used to be with the new control mechanics.
Yeah, with the way leash mechanics work. This will be something we'll probably find out for sure as the game goes on if it happens again. But yeah, I mean, their team got double X'd at the same spot and then just boated, and there's nothing they can do to stop it if Tusk is the one that gets leashed. That's interesting. We'll have to see that interaction a couple more times, I'm sure.
Yep. I see. I don't think that's a mistake. Doggy would make twice if it is a mistake. But I do believe that you are correct. Snowball is not castable.
So Treant actually went for the max living armor here. I think that's a little bit weird. I didn't expect RIT to be putting much pressure on the map early just because of their team's lineup. And usually living armor is more of a delay the game strategy than anything else. As opposed to going like the max leech seed or the nature's guys.
Kunkka's actually going for Radiance. I've seen this a few times. Do you have any thoughts on this build?
It's definitely not bad. It is weird to me though. I don't know. I actually haven't seen it on a Kunkka recently. I feel like in most games. Oh gosh, does he just want magic damage? I'm actually just so confused by that.
It has a ton of auto attack damage, which is synergized with his Tidebringer. It's going to allow Kunkka to actually be able to farm. Radiant's fantastic farming item, and Kunkka also excels in team fights. And Radiant's help.
We might see a fight here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of heroes posturing up down here. Shu can scout everyone out, but not when there are many marches of machines going on.
Yeah, we talked about how good Trian is at scouting this like Tinker hiding in the jungle, and he was on the other side of a tree, so close. I'm gonna keep wondering how this Radiant's gonna play out. I think normally you'd want to just see the Shadow Blade, or maybe even like a, I don't know, man. It's real weird to me.
Xanthos is I think Shadow Blade was queued up after the Radiance, for Kunkka. Xanthos is holding on to a Blink Dagger, so I think he wants to make a move, especially he can group up with Vlads, or he can go for some kills with Blink Dagger. Pings are coming out. Stony Brook knows that RIT is in their top jungle. They might use that information to push the bottom T2. Grimstroke and Trient are staying behind Lifestealer bottom, who can easily pressure this lane. Midas, Yasha, Maelstrom, very fast attack speed.
Yeah, they're just relying on Eradicate to keep this lane pushed. And I think they're okay with that, right? Look at where the rest of RIT is. They're farming 2 other lanes, pressuring 2 other towers. And Stony Brook, they're going to have to respond, right? 2 TPs mid already.
Here we go. X on Kunkka, or X on Sven. Boat on Sven, he actually misses. Okay.
That's an unfortunate misplay there. And Eradicate actually gets spotted by Shu here. He might be dead. Doggy coming in is going to have a snowball.
Kill. They're doing a lot of damage. Eradicate gets put in the snowball. The snowball's bringing him to the creep wave. Eradicate's running bottom. He has a Blink Dagger in 2 seconds. Do they have any way to break the Blink Dagger? Eradicate makes it away. He's going to reset. A Walrus Punch comes out on the backside. Doggy's going to kill the Treant. No, barely not going to kill the Treant, but they will gladly trade their tusk to save their Tinker. In the meantime, Xanthos actually was chased down and killed in the Roshan pit.
Yeah, killed by Dark Raider. Tinker can slow down this tower still, so at least Eradicate stayed alive. The pipe here going to do a little bit of work, but there's too many machines just marching down this lane. But they do have a catapult alive, so they should be able to get this tower. But yeah,
this pipe is a huge deal, and
let's
this
look at Ritz real quick.
Look at which?
Ritz.
Let's take a look at Ritz. Where is he?
Oh, he taking his own tier 2 tower.
Yeah. Hey guys, what's going on top lane?
So
all the battling, all the effort that both teams put into hitting a T2, and Ritz just takes a T1 followed by a T2 as if it didn't matter.
I mean that whole push in that bot lane to get that tier 2, and Ritz responds does the exact same thing in the same amount of time.
I would like to talk about Timbersaw's Pipe of Insight pickup. You mentioned him getting a
Hood of Defiance early.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, is it a Cloak of Defiance? That doesn't sound right.
What is that thing called?
Pipe of Insight is a great counter to Tinker. It's going to allow you to get your creeps inside the base, and I think that this is going to give Stony Brook the momentum they need to break RIT's base. I mentioned earlier as well that Stony Brook has a window to take the game in the mid-game with Timbersaw's dominance in the mid-game. Timbersaw picking up a Pipe of Insight makes him even harder to kill, and it opens the door for Stony Brook.
Yeah. Terrorblade
play a huge role in their ability to take objectives, and I think win the game potentially.
I just want to point out Terrorblade's build right here. He just went Yasha Scotty. I actually 100% agree with this. If he gets X-boated, he doesn't really want to pop his BKB to try and survive, right? You just need stats, and you have to rely on your team to show up. So
this is going to allow him to kite the Lifestealer in fights.
Yeah, I think this is a great pickup.
Can't go up to these fights with getting Scottied around.
Yeah, I think it's a great pickup. I really like it. Xanthos has his Blink Dagger going BKB himself with the Vlads. But one thing to note, Dark Raider has his Radiance going for a Shiva's next. All about that pickup as well. Lifestealer should just have his S and Y Maelstrom Midas. Yep, going for the Mjolnir as his next item.
Smoke from SBU. What are they looking for? I think they just want to kill someone, get some action going.
They're looking for Ritz, right? They know he's going to be jungling.
Yeah.
Ritz super deep in the jungle right now, and he might run into the Remelia here. And
if
he does, he does.
Smoke is popped. Ritz, they in the casting animation for open wounds. Ritz dodges into the trees, and the smoke is all for naught.
That is a lucky break there for RIT.
And look at this. Bottom lane. RIT. They see that SVU is in their jungle, so RIT is going to put pressure on the bottom T1.
And he's also going to defend his tier 2 top. This is how you need to play this game if you're RIT. You need to split the map here with this Tinker, and you need to just start out farming SBU. He's going to pop God Strength, going to get the tower last hit, so one more tower that the Treant Protector can't heal up. And if you maxed your living armor, this isn't really what you want to see. You've lost 3 towers in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, Stony Brook has slowed down a bit, and RIT, as you mentioned, is very happy with this, especially with that the Scotty pickup. Terrorblade, he's quite happy, and he's going to go for BKB next.
Yeah, this is what I expected. He didn't want to go first item BKB. It slows his farm too much, and then all it really does is allow him to stay alive slightly longer because he's going to get X-boated, but you still have a Timber Saw and a Treant Protector that can get on you. So, I like this. I think Rit's itemized really well here.
And what do you do when the enemy team sits in your jungle? You go to you go to their jungle.
Yeah.
And Terrorblaze is hanging out down there.
Eradicate needs to be careful. Getting X'd by Kunkka is probably a death sentence.
Yeah. Snowball is his only way out, and Snowball still has to have an enemy unit as its target.
Yeah, no Blink Dagger yet from Doggy either.
Ooh, very ballsy Torrent. I like that from Kunkka, but the tower drops.
Bot lane, Rit's doing some tower damage of his own, but runes are up, and looks like all 4 are probably going to go to the side of Stony Brook here, unless they catch the Sven. They do see him. Xanthos coming in, gets the stun. He's going to steal the rune first. He
grabs the rune, just go for the other. Don't try and kill him. I like that. Sinister Gaze into his Snowball is going to buy some time. God Strength, they're going to follow it up with a Walrus Punch, and the combo takes out Timbersaw. Known as being a tanky hero, did not look very tanky in that scenario.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It takes a while for him to build up those stacks of reactive armor, and doesn't get there. There's just so much damage coming out between the Sven, the Terrorblade, and that's a really good kill.
Yeah. Yeah, very high burst damage coming out, almost even across the board. Terrorblade might recap the most, and Tusk actually offered quite a bit, almost as much as Tinker did.
Yeah. So Ritz obviously pop meta for that. He wants to try and threaten this tower while he still has it active before it kind of puts him in that danger zone. They do actually see Treant.
Shoe's been spotted.
Are they going to go for him? I think they do. They see him, right? Oh, he's just outside the
right
Garrison
on top.
Sentry.
Perfect job. A Sinister Gaze.
Good play by Word there. Timbersaw TV's bottom, but can he do anything about this? They did not see him.
Crushing.
There's your tower. Goodbye. Do they see? All right, they see Timbersaw now. Are they going to go for this? I don't think so. They're a little afraid. They only see the Kunkka top. But they're just going to keep going.
Eradicate's coming in. Lifestealer's showing up. There's a Stormhammer. Rage has been used. Still no Metamorphosis, though.
I think they just wanted to force the rotation, and they're okay with this. Because now they know all of... Stony Brook is back in their base.
Timbersaw is leading the charge, as he should. Cutting trees, making noise, pressing buttons, and he's going to back up and hit some creeps.
Treant Protector asking
meantime, Eradicate is keeping every lane pushed in.
Can you imagine the internal turmoil you would have from a Treant Protector and essentially an entire lumber mill on wheels?
Yes. It's the anti-synergy. This is Shu. Shu's the drafter too, and he put himself on Treant after picking Timbersaw.
He's like, yeah, I'm not that attached to the trees.
Yeah. I just like him a little bit. More than average amount.
Yeah. Xanthos picked up his BKB.
On
Terrorblade almost has his as well. Take a look here. What has Lifestealer picked up recently? Finished the Mjolnir, going AC next. Really like that choice, but look where they are. They're in the Roshan. Dire don't have vision of this. But
Lifestealer or
scout it.
Or Timbersaw actually isn't terrible.
They have
probably
a scan.
Lifestealer.
I think you go Lifestealer for sure.
Yeah, he's the highest net worth.
Oh, they see it now. Dark Raider just walks out, so they do know the Roche pit and the Roche fight is happening. But can they do anything? Nonan gets... Wow, he is just gone.
A Walrus Punch, more like a Walrus Execute.
And the Roche does go down.
However, Aegis goes to Stony Brook University. Eradicate is hitting every button he can.
Xanthos gets caught in the mid lane. He does have Blink Up, so he should... Oh, he might be able to survive.
Well, he uses BKB, he gets the shield, Doggy snowballs, a Stormhammer comes out. Is Doggy going to be able to get away from this? A Frost Blast to follow it up, and a Walrus Punch. There's a lot of damage coming out from RIT, but the boat buff is now on to Stony Brook. Oh my god, Terrorblade gets taken out, and so does Fen. No buyback. Doggy buys back. Lich is about to fall. He's got the Phantom Embrace, and he has taken out 3 heroes dead for RIT. Eradicate now desperately is going to try and stall the push, but he can't risk getting caught here. He quickly flinks away, does not get caught.
Vermilion gonna go? Oh my gosh, almost dies on the Lifestealer popping the Aegis.
Ooh. Okay,
the Lifestealer was able to get on top of the enemy team there, and that's the big deal. You need to be able to kite this Lifestealer around, and
did not commit Aegis either.
Yeah, he didn't have to commit Aegis. It's a pretty big deal.
Would you have liked to see a Hurricane Pike on Terrorblade, especially with how easily Force Staffs is able to counter Lifestealer?
I would have liked him to just get his Black King bar instead of going Butterfly.
Yeah, I don't think he ever wants to man fight the Lifestealer, and that's the only auto attacker on the team. Kunkka's auto attacks are all around Tidebringer.
Yeah, I mean, he got torrented, he got hit by the boat, he took a ton of damage from the Timber Saw, and then he also took... Wow, okay, Wort just gets found by the Dark Raider. Incoming Ritz, they need to get this kill. Almost charged just off the mark, but I think they're okay with this. Yeah. Eradicate should be able to stay on top of him.
Oh no, Eradicate's been X'd, he's been boated. Walrus Punch comes out on Dark Raider, but doesn't seem to be in any real danger. They're just ignoring it.
Oh my god, the shards.
Ice Charge is going to buy Eradicate some time, and Xanthos is bringing the cleave, baby, but is it going to be enough? Sunder is keeping Terrorblade alive by killing Doggy on top.
Oh my gosh,
shoot! Is expired, but so is the Treant. Going back.
He has no Sunder.
On Terrorblade. Terrorblade looks like he really wants to get away. He's quick, but is he going to be quick enough? They
Great
get the Stormhammer
Stormhammer
double. And Xanthos and Terrorblade run away home, heal up.
So as I was saying, Lifestealer is good against a lot of heroes, but he's not super good against Terrorblade because Terrorblade has pretty high armor and not that much strength gain anymore. So a lot of his damage is going to be coming out from this Mjolnir, and I think that's why he picked it up. But this Butterfly, giving him that evasion was pretty valuable. One thing to point out, Xanthos had a lot of patience holding that Stormhammer until Rage ended.
Love it.
So that was a really nice play. Well, they got the Aegis, they got the Kunkka, and it only cost them Doggy.
The forts. The Lich got dropped too to start off.
Yeah, Lich was...
And Doggy was the Sunder target as well, so they're definitely okay with that. Kunkka had Radiance turned off during that. Also,
I thought he turned it back on at some point, but yeah, it was. He started the fight with it off, trying to run away, which was a little
odd. Hopefully he notices that, brings it back. I'm sure he will. He's a very talented player. Well, now they were getting a little bit later into the game. Luckily, Eradicate made it away. Do you think Eradicate will go for a Ghost Scepter or an E-Blade to help deal with the Lifestealer?
We might see. I think he just goes Sheep Stick, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that seems good as well.
I mean, they have so much damage from the rest of his team. All he really needs is a Sheep Stick, and I think the rest of his team, like this Lich and the Terrorblade, should pick up 4 staffs of their own eventually.
The net worth is still in favor of Stony Brook. However, it's almost entirely on Lifestealer.
Yeah,
he's 5,000 ahead of his Kunkka. So if Lifestealer gets taken out or is kited or is put in a bad position, it feels like Stony Brook is put in a bad position, but we can't count the Kunkka out, especially the Dark Raider Kunkka.
Yeah. Ooh, I mean, there's still quite a bit ahead in experience as well. If you look at the hero levels, 22 on the Lifestealer, 21 on the Kunkka, followed by the RIT squad. So they're still ahead in the game. In both aspects, they have definitely more map control. So it seems like RIT, they're playing a little bit on their back foot, but not nearly as much as game number 1. So I think they're a little bit more comfortable in this position. And really, Eradicate, he's fine. He does not care. He is just running down lanes.
Yeah, doing Tinker things on Tinker. He's actually going for the BKB as his next item.
I'm actually okay with that. There's a lot of ways he can die, and I think BKB stops a lot of those.
Yeah, I agree. If he stays alive, Tinker is kind of like Slark in the sense that getting him down to 1 health is not a huge deal for him. He can get out of the fight, go back to Fountain, regen up, and get right back in and cause havoc all over as if nothing happened.
Smoke up here on bot lane. Oh, they actually missed. They used both smokes. So that was a misclick, I'm sure. So Dark Raider has the Lifestealer inside of him. He did turn his Radiance back on, so good play there.
Nice.
Smoke top, I'm assuming. I think they see. Yep, there he goes. Right onto the Timber Saw, Eternal King himself. Are they going to be able to get the kill here, though? He does get Yules.
They have quite a bit of damage, but all he has to do is stall for his teammates to get there. He's going to throw the Timber Chain out. The team has shown up. Stony Brook University is here. A great route from Trian, and now Stony Brook is here. Can they clean up? The BKBs have been used. The Terrorblade has been taken out. He has a buyback. He's not going to commit it. Tusk is down. Wirt on the backside. Looks like he's going to get taken out. The march. Stony Brook's just marching through the march of machines. They're not scared. Lich really doing a great job juking, but you can't juke Dark Raiders. Tidebringer and 3-for-1. How's the gold swing looking?
I mean,
wasn't a huge gold swing, but a lot of XP.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough fight for them. This Terrorblade not having BKB is starting to become an obvious problem in these fights. He just took a Torrent Boat and a Cleave, and he was just dead. Like, he just died so fast.
Yeah, Terrorblade dropping is a huge deal because
he needs to be able to get that Sunder and the damage off in these fights, and it doesn't seem like that's happening.
I agree. Terrorblade almost helps make up the front line with Sven. Sven doesn't have a lot of net worth. He's the Terrorblade, or Timbersaw is the only net worth that Sven is beating. Or, yeah, Timbersaw is the only core who Sven is beating in net worth, but both of them are dwarfed by pretty much every other core in the game. Sven is not able to offer a strong front line to protect Terrorblade and Tinker, and when Sven goes down, Stony Brook University is doing what they did last game, and they're just marching through RIT's lineup with a Lifestealer who seems invulnerable.
4 runes again for the side of SBU, and this is looking a lot more difficult than it did a few moments ago. I think they're having a lot more problems killing this Timbersaw. That self Yules was nice. He's picking up the Crimson Guard here very soon. I said he should be getting the Pipe Vanguard, and pretty much is going to do the same thing. I don't know how you kill him later on. This Timbersaw is going to become nearly unkillable, and the only way you're going to be able to deal with it is really a Sven crit, but he's not that right-clicking machine that we were talking about.
Yeah, the Scotty does a great job of holding Lifestealer down, or can do a great job of holding Lifestealer down so that damage can get pumped into him. Scotty does not hold down a 4-second cooldown Timber Chain on a hero who's regenning extremely quickly. Ooh, Dark Raider found Tinker! Oh my god, great job with Shivas. The Tinker Finder, there's an X, there's a bow.
Incoming Xanthos.
Stormhammer, though, Eradicate's going to try and buy some time, but he's out of mana. A Soulbind comes out of Phantom's Embrace. Dark Raider and Sven are having a fight in the trees, a jungle battle.
The X!
Teleports out. Oh my god, he pulls him back. Doggy on the back line is going to kill Grimstroke, but Xanthos is the big prize here. Frostblast comes out, but so does the Treant Protector Roots. We're gonna see Kunkka actually get dropped. Grimstroke buys back. Xanthos is running away. Terrorblade has finally showed up to fight, but I don't know if
Frankie's so bad.
Target wants to go on. Well, with the Stormhammer and a Tinker, it definitely is. They take him out. Now, Doggy at very low health is gonna go into the Snowball. And they're gonna turn. RIT
if they get this
onto Lifestealer. They want to go on the Terrorblade. They still have a Sunder available. He's baiting. He's waiting. Eradicate has shown. There's the Sunder. There's the blind. Eradicate gets taken out. Now Lifestealer is going to run away, however, with an open wounds. He might be able to get back into the fight. Terrorblade fell right into his trap, walked into melee range. He gets rooted up. He gets his wounds open, and he gets beaten down. A Snowball is going to buy him a second. They're going to kill Shu, but Terrorblade is taken out. What a fantastic play from Lifestealer, waiting for Terrorblade, baiting him into melee range, and then stealing his life. Oh my god.
This is the MKB pickup. He saw him go Butterfly, just responds, immediately buys an MKB, and you can't survive his damage at this point. He attacks so fast.
Get near him. You can't go near him. 2-second rage duration. Xanthos, Doggy, and Wirt. The last line of defense for the top racks for RIT as they try and stay in for one more game. God Strength is popped. Sven gives out a war cry, and they pursue the Grimstroke. They'll delete him, but with no ability to snowball because of the Soulbind. It looks like Doggy's going to be the trade. The Soulbind then switches to Lich and Sven. They're going to try and back up out of mana. Lifestealer seems like he might not be deadly, but just going
he has no mana left. They might be able to get this.
Chain Frost is bouncing everywhere. He turns on to Xanthos, but he gets Stormhammered and beaten down. The 3-man defense, they sacrifice Doggy, but they save their game. RIT is still in it.
Xanthos picks up 1,000, like, What? 1,000 gold? That's insane. That just
gonna
shows
make
how
a rap
far
video
ahead
with all that
Stony
gold.
Brook is. They still have a 7,000 gold lead overall. But this Lifestealer is just enormous. 6,000 gold in front of the Terrorblade.
I don't think Terrorblade's going to make the same mistake.
No,
if he
definitely
sees
not.
Lifestealer go behind a tree, I don't think he's going to pursue him behind the
He's
tree.
going to say, alright, you have fun over there, dude. I'm going to do my own thing.
Go back to your jungle.
Xanthos picks up his Assault Cuirass. It's going to be really useful for them. If we take a look at buyback status, 3 down for the side of RIT. The only ones available are Lich and Terrorblade. Terrorblade's just not available monetarily.
Oh, Roshan just spawned and Shu immediately scouts him.
That's pretty huge.
Yeah, they need that. 40 seconds on Lifestealer, who has buyback, by the way. Shu is going to make sure that no one goes near Roshan without Stony Brook knowing. Here we go. RIT is going to scout it out. If we see a buyback from Lifestealer, RIT is going to understand what's going on. They currently have 25 seconds to beat this boy down. They're going to God Strength board. A Torrent comes out. Now, RIT is aware that Stony Brook is aware that they are in the Roshan pit. But can Stony Brook do anything without expending buyback? It looks like they can't. Less than half health, there's not a lot of time left. Eradicate has showed up, he gets rooted and leech seeded, but does he really want to commit this way? A BKB from Tinker, a boat comes out. Terrorblade wants to go for Roshan, but RIT wants to go for SBU.
Oh my gosh, Shu just
Lifestealer's
evaporates.
gonna be here any moment now, but a BKB Scotty Terrorblade is not letting anyone in the pit. They want the Aegis. They cannot let Lifestealer get the Aegis. They take Roshan. They claim his Aegis. The cheese is theirs, but a boat, oh no, just a Torrent rather, is going to buy some time for RIT.
Great
a
Sunder.
snowball, but Doggy's in the middle. Doggy gets taken out. No, he doesn't. And by Doggy, I mean Terrorblade. Terrorblade gets dropped. The
Oh,
Aegis
he
is
gets
extended.
the Timber Saw on the death. Xanthos
Great
has the
Terrorblade
Storm
is
Hammer,
back.
gets
Terrorblade
2.
doesn't have Sunder, doesn't have BKB. They give him the cheese. They take out the tree. Lifestealer's fighting Terrorblade. That doesn't go well for Terrorblade last time, so Terrorblade knows. I don't take this fight. I run away, and I use teamwork to win the game.
He goes
Eliminated.
down. They catch him.
Vaporized. That's the power of science, baby. Is there a buyback on the Kunkka?
Oh my
Nope.
god. No, there's no buybacks. I think they used 3 in that fight.
RIT showed SBU what happens when you put him on the back foot. 3-man defense, and they took SBU out, and doesn't look like SBU's even gonna let RIT go near their base, which might be a mistake because Rage has been popped as Lifestealer and Timberstar are pursued to their base.
There's a Sunder coming, right? No, 30 seconds, okay.
30 seconds, he has a cheese, he's baiting with the cheese, but SBU, no. They're not gonna fall for that trick. And it looks like RIT might want to play it safe back up. I wouldn't be surprised if they fake this, though.
No, it looks like they're done. I don't think they can make the play without the Sunder to kill the Timber Saw. So they're going to relax. They got a huge swing in gold. Let's just take a look at that over the last minute. Started at almost 11,000 or 10,000 in favor of SBU, and it has now dropped to almost 2,000 in favor of RIT. What a game, dude! This is so insane.
I just need to take a second. I literally looked at the 2K lead for RIT, and then I looked away and I was like, wait. And I looked at it again and I looked. I was like, wait, what? Like, oh, yep, there it is. RIT is taking it back.
Wow.
Top 3 in net worth. Lifestealer might be leading it, but number 2 and number 3, that's RIT.
This is so insane, dude. Experience also swings back from that 15,000 lead that was for SBU and is now actually in favor of RIT. This is nuts.
Treant, this is absolutely nuts. Does Treant go for the 2-second tree respawn with his Timbersaw boy? I think that actually is sick, Timbersaw, isn't it?
I think you want to. I actually don't even know. Like,
I think that's standard. Is
I feel like 90 damage is pretty useless on a hero like that. The smoke up here from RIT. If they find a couple important kills, this could be really big.
Okay,
they're going straight for this, Frankie.
Now, Tunka is not 25 for this next engagement. God Strength is popped. Who are they going on? It looks like it's Timbersaw. He's shot into the air. He's snowballed up. He shoots himself in the air to buy time, but the Sinister Gaze is going to hold him there, and he has taken out double damage on Terrorblade. Very scary, but the time is dwindling on the double damage, just like it's dwindling on the Metamorphosis, just about to reach the halfway point. I don't know if it's going to last long enough for them to make a serious push on the tier 3 tower.
They actually landed the dust onto Shu, but such a difficult hero to follow just because of his tree walking.
He's just standing beside them again. Just waiting. He's always there, always watching. He has been a very valuable ward in this game.
Terrorblade needs his level 25 here. It is so important. Xanthos already has his. So,
Meta's
you know,
about to
he
go
picked
down.
up the Storm Damage stun duration.
Get the tier 3 and back. I think that's what they want to go for. Uh-oh, Lifestealer and Terrorblade once again in Inkswell. Are they going to get... A Soulbind comes out. Terrorblade is in an awful position and Soulbinds to Xanthos. Xanthos gets the BKB up. There's so much stuns on Terrorblade. He eats the cheese at the last second, and now it's his turn to fight. He doesn't have the Metamorphosis, but he has the Heart of the Warrior, and his sights on Treant. Treant is taken out. Kunkka goes in with his BKB without his level 25 talent. Kunkka's still ready to battle. A double Inkswell is going to take out Doggy in the middle of it. There's going to be a silence on Terrorblade, so he can't get the Sunder off. He gets taken out. Xanthos gets a great stun, but it's going to be a defensive one as he runs away. Force Staff, Grimstroke is going to be on the pursuit. A War Cry and a Blink, and Sven is already across the map farming their jungle. Please don't go for this. Thank you. Run away. Oh, he scared me there. I thought Sven was going to try and kill the Ogres.
Man, these fights are so close, and both teams like barely scraping out one over the other. And the Inkswell here,
They didn't even get the tier 3.
yeah, they didn't get the tier 3. Top lane taking a little damage right now, but Grimstroke's ability to control this Terrorblade in fights is so important.
Yes,
He's getting silences, he's getting stuns, and he just can't get this Sunder off.
Phantom's Embrace is a very long duration silence. Although it can be countered by auto attacks, that's taking auto attacks away from important targets, like putting the Scotty debuff on Lifestealer, like slowing down the Kunkka's ability to get in range of something to Tidebringer, and even just dealing damage overall. RIT seriously needs to prioritize a Phantom's Embrace because the inability to cast Sunder may be the downfall that makes SBU 2-0 this series.
That was close. Top rune there. Xanthos runs right into Frankie and gets the rune and blinks out. So 3 runes going to SBU here.
One thing that I believe we're noticing now is how the third core, the offlaner of each team, is able to scale. Xanthos is able to scale into the late game much easier and more effectively than Timbersaw is. Timbersaw is a space creator, a tanky hero, and as the game goes later and later, space creators kind of lose their value except for their ability to push out lanes. Where Xanthos is able to dish out damage and get in the fight, and that's becoming more valuable for RIT in these fights. Also, the AoE stun, extremely valuable, especially with the low cooldown. And 25 talent picked up for Xanthos.
Yeah. He went for the stun duration. I'm actually okay with that. He doesn't really need the strength bonus. It's just less effective against the Lifestealer, and having the ability to lock someone down for potentially multiple people down for that additional second and a quarter is pretty valuable.
I agree. He also at level 20 picked up the Stormhammer cooldown. Fantastic synergy.
Oh, did he really? I love it. That's so good.
That's his role, man. That's position 3, not position 1. That's
Yeah.
Xanthos Dota. He's going for the Daedalus, though, Ricky. That's absurd.
Thank you for saying that again. I like blanked for a second. I was like, what? I was like, oh yeah. The good old voice line.
If only we could hear it from the caster side of the game.
No. Abyssal Blade picked up on Lifestealer, and now he's just going to go Moonshard. He is fully built here. There's no more items you can get on this Lifestealer.
Abyssal Blade is a big pickup, however, it's not the biggest item. I don't think that's like a humongous boost for him. The same way we're going to see Daedalus enable Xanthos to become both control and damage. Lifestealer already is a large amount of damage, and that's just adding to that. However, the Moonshard is going... Look at his attack speed already on Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Very quick.
Let's also point out Hex just finished up on Eradicate.
There we go. I was going to say Tinker is playing a huge role in how the remainder of this game plays out. Roshan is likely going to decide who wins the game, as this is the third Roshan, dropping the Cheese, the Aegis, and the Refresher Shard. Tinker is able to push all 3 lanes out easily, which is going to apply pressure on Stony Brook, making it difficult for them to contest Roshan when he respawns. In 15 seconds here, we're going to get a look at the Roshan timer, whether it be long or short. I think both teams are going to wait until Roshan is part of the game before they attempt to end the game.
Yeah, looks like SBU smokes up here to the jungle, trying to find someone farming, but RIT grouped up behind their carries. They just do not want to get caught here. It's a really big deal if one of these teams gets an advantage, and now Remelia just going to start working on the shrine. It's going to fall very quickly.
Yeah, might as well take it out.
No reason. You can't respond if you're RIT there. They still don't even have a tier 3 tower.
Yeah, it pinged again. Wait, we didn't get that? He is healed up now to full health. Oh yeah, 2-second tree respawn. That's what I like to see.
Mm-hmm.
Grimstroke is almost 10 levels above Treant.
Grimstroke
Grimstroke has the Scythe of Eyes. Is that new?
Who does?
Grimstroke.
Yeah, that's definitely new. He must have just picked that up.
Huge.
I was gonna say, look at Kunka's talent here. Look what he picked up.
Yes!
He goes the fleet. So instead of
hit
going
one, you hit 'em
the
all.
cleave damage, which is I think what a lot of people kind of expect, he goes the fleet. And I'm actually okay with this. If he lands a boat in one of these fights, and like Terrorblade doesn't have a BKB or he happens to find Eradicate, it's pretty big.
They land the whole fleet. Also, it's going to guarantee that Coco's ROM is applied to everybody on Stony Brook.
Yeah.
You can't. You miss it once, you're not missing it. What is it? 3 ships you have?
Yes, 3 I believe.
Yeah, you're not missing it 3 times. Okay, slowing it down. What's a Roshan? So a decently long Roshan. 1.5 until he's back up.
Yeah.
And are there any? What's the item progression we're missing here? Who's still looking for something? Daedalus not yet on Sven, who wants to hold on to buy back gold.
Word is so poor. He bought 2 gems. The first one he lost in that bottom fight, and Timbersaw has it now, and then he had to buy another gem. So Word is just kind of... He didn't even get to finish his Glimmer Cape at this point. He's so low on net worth, and he's just not happy about it.
But Doggy actually went for the Walrus Punch. Yeah, Word is out, but check out, like, I mean, Shoes level 2. Both of them are really suffering. Although a Blink Dagger is the high impact item.
Yeah, Treant. I think Doggy, he's going the Lotus Orb as his next item. I really like it. But one thing to note that's going to be really important here is when he gets his level 25. I'm not sure which one he's going to go for. To be honest, I would assume probably the Ice Shard's cooldown. But
I was going to point out at level 20, it's actually the 300 snowball speed is way more common to my knowledge than the Walrus Punch crit. The snowball speed is extremely noticeable, whereas the Walrus Punch crit is not that noticeable. However, with the Walrus Punch crit pickup, that makes the 12% Walrus Punch proc chance very viable.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. It's going to allow the same way that Xanthos has...
Eradicate might get caught here top lane. Shu finds him.
Uh-oh. Yeah, they set that Tinker Ward up a few minutes ago. Shu's going for another root. Can he perma-root? There's a Hex, there's a Soulbind, and Inkswell is just barely going to hit. Eradicate BKBs. Can he teleport out? He doesn't.
What a play.
First, like, they have him in range, though, with the Tinker Ward, and Shu is unable to get the attack off. Now,
mid lane they find Remelia!
Remelia! That's the smoke gank that we looked away from. He has a buyback, but he's not going to have a T-Tower mid for long.
This is a really big tower kill.
Get the Roshan.
I think RIT want to force the buyback more than anything. If they get Lifestealer's buyback right here, it's really important.
All right, Xanthos goes in. Was there a
Grimstroke's just gone.
There,
he got forced back.
Buyback, double buyback. Let's go. Tier 3 tower down. Fortify used. Okay, I think we're going to see RIT back up and reassess the situation. Metamorphosis is committed, so they do only have a little bit longer to make a call.
This is a massive gold swing for RIT there.
They're checking Roshan and they're going to realize it's up and they don't have Metamorphosis for this fight.
I think they're okay. They didn't really expend a whole lot other than meta for that fight, and if they do have buybacks as well, so
double damage just spawned on top of Remelia, who walked in the pit.
That's really big.
Oh my god, Stony Brook University just won the lottery, Ricky. Okay, Roshan, I mean, I might blink and miss this, just like the Grimstroke. Now, there's no buyback in Grimstroke, and there's no buyback on Lifestealer, but Lifestealer is about to be holding an Aegis. Here we go, I hear the God Strength. Xanthos is going to do something crazy! He kills it! Who's getting the Aegis? Doggy takes the Aegis! Their fight is out of control on the pit! The Chain Frost is hitting everyone! Dark Raider is about to drop, but everyone on RIT is held down. Now our SPU is the one walking out of the pit. Xanthos and Doggy has fallen, but Doggy's about to reincarnate with the Aegis that he stole. He's been hit by the Abyssal Blade. He snowballs to buy himself some time. He's going onto the Timbersaw, but right into the Chakram. He's taken out. A Great Force Staff is going to buy time for Terrorblade to get up the hill, but the Abyssal Blade takes him out too. 3 players dead on RIT, however, all of them have buyback. The Aegis was not picked up by Stony Brook University. The Refresher Shard is being used by who?
He used it on the Lifestealer to recast Abyssal Blade.
I was going to say Abyssal Blade came up quick. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he immediately refreshed to use the Abyssal Blade.
Okay, I think that's the best RIT could have hoped for the insane situation that Stony Brook found themselves in, baiting out the buyback by going for the tier 4. Lifestealer's putting a lot of pressure on RIT to make a move. Look at this great play by Terrorblade, pretending he doesn't have buyback, trying to bait SBU into taking this fight until it's too late. Here comes the Chain Frost, it's hitting on 2 heroes, getting set up right in the middle. The fleet has come though. Here comes the Navy, they're gonna turn it. Xanthos is about to drop, and so is Doggy. Terrorblade is here. This is the last hope. Once RIT defended with 3 players, let's see if they can do it again. Eradicate, Ritz, and Wirt, the last 3 standing. Managed to push Stony Brook back for a little bit. Dark Raider low on health, low on mana, but with blood in his eyes, it looks like they might make a move. Not fully committing to their play to back up. They're going to wait till they get more information. If they went bottom right now, they'll find a second double damage rune. Dark Raider goes for the cleave. Terrorblade Illusions and Marshes come out.
Oh my gosh, it's so much damage.
Metamorphosis has been spent. Metamorphosis is about to drop. SBU is going to wait for this. There is no buyback and soon to be no Metamorphosis stopping SBU from pushing the base of RIT. I don't know if they're going to go for the racks or the tier 4. Grimstroke goes in. They catch Eradicate. They sheep them. They X them. But a BKB is going to keep them alive. 2, 3 boats go. Now Eradicate is going to buy as much time as they can. Stony Brook wants to go for the racks. They don't feel like they can extend far enough to go for the tier 4s. The mid lane has fallen. They turn their sights on the bottom lane. A full health tier 3 tower is protecting these buildings. A sinister gaze on Timbersaw, who is then turned into a sheep. He's frost blasted up, but he's very tanky and he's making space just like he has done all game to buy his team time to push the objectives. A second lane of barracks are in peril for RIT, but 20 seconds on Doggy and 30 on Xanthos might be what they need to stay in this game. Great lines from an Aghanim's Tinker is buying even more time. A fortification, an ice armor from the Lich. RIT is pulling out all the stops that these 3 insane players can muster to try and hold back SBU. Metamorphosis is back up. The Abyssal Blade comes out, but a great timing on the BKB from Terrorblade is going to allow him to take almost no damage. Now his BKB is expended, but something better is back, and that's Doggy Tusk. Doggy Tusk is going deep. He's looking for someone. He's hungry for blood. Is he going to find the Terrorblade? The Timbersaw, he finds him. He gives him the Walrus Punch. He's chasing him down. He hits him with the Snowball, interrupting the Timber Chain. Doggy is in the Matrix right now. Timbersaw is in the graveyard. RIT has defended 100 seconds without Timbersaw. It's RIT's turn to be the aggressor. What talent did Doggy go? Doesn't even matter.
I am losing it right now.
56 minutes into this game. RIT is not going to allow the crown to fall off their head. They're here to stay. 7k lead though for SBU.
Yeah, I was gonna say SBU takes a huge lead in this game right now. They got a full lane of racks to get the melee racks bottom, and now RIT is on a timer for sure. They need to force an objective, and I don't know how you do. This Lifestealer is so scary. This Grimstrokes Soulbind into the Hex has done so much work this game and is putting Doggy in such an awkward position because he can't get these reliable snowballs to keep his team alive. And oh man, like SBU is playing so well, but RIT is not going down without a fight.
Oh, what a time to be alive, Ricky. How did we end up here? I'm not complaining. I'm loving this. This is wild.
And
well, are we going to see Roshan 4?
I don't know, man. I would expect RIT to have maybe pushed bottom there, but they're afraid, man. They are afraid to push.
They don't have much left.
I mean, both teams are down 3 buybacks right now.
Mm-hmm. There are only 3 buybacks in the game right now.
Yeah, this is crazy.
All right, what is up? Everyone has their ultimates. Metamorphosis is up in 24 seconds, so it will be up soon. Refresher on Terrorblade. He's letting it sit in his inventory. A minute
lane,
and a
Eradicate
half on
gets
that
found,
cooldown.
but he should be out.
Eradicate. He's gotten out of stickier situations than this.
Shoot, almost got it.
Woo!
That was so close. That was half second, quarter second, like Eradicate.
I got the chart up right now. The APM chart, Eradicate's exceeding 1,000. The boy is warmed up and he's here to play.
This
Yeah, and he
is
does actually. He gets the
nuts.
Sheepstick and he gets the E-Blade on Tinker.
Yeah.
Okay, he's here to control. He's going to play a similar role to the Pugna last game. Staying behind his big boys. He's going to take the fight from behind. Make sure everything goes according to plan. Net worth-wise, Tinker is almost caught up to Lifestealer. 40,000. How do you even have 40,000 net worth? Can you even have that many items?
I don't know. I don't think so.
He's not even wearing boots anymore. Lifestealer, that is. And he's holding cheese in his pocket.
He doesn't really
It's
need
getting
it, right?
weird.
He's got so much movement speed, and then he also has open wounds, right? So he doesn't need to be super fast right now.
Nope. He gets on top of someone and they will melt.
This new, fresh 10-second BKB is going to be really important for him in the fights.
Do you feel that the Ghost Fleet is paying off, or do you think Dark Raider is wishing he picked 60 Tidebringer Thief?
No, the Ghost Fleet actually won them the Roche fight, so I think it's a pretty
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah, it's not his role to be doing the
Five-man
damage when
smoke.
Lifestealer is not even wearing boots, trying to put so many weapons on him.
SBU
Now,
scout the Roche, but no, it's not
Yeah.
alive. So we'll see.
oh, Eradicate though, they're gonna see the March mid is SBU. Gonna realize Tinker is near.
This is so scary for both teams. Frankie gets his smoke popped. He knows someone's on the high ground, but isn't going to pursue.
Okay.
He also has a hex of his own, so there's two. So if you take a look here, there's two hexes on the side of SBU on the Grimstroke, and now the Timber Saw, and you've got the hex on Tinker. So this is it's a game of who gets the initiation first, almost.
Definitely. Okay, Grimstroke, Inkswell Radius at level 25. Grimstroke's
They
level
see
25
Eradicate top
talents
lane.
aren't
He
really
needs to
that
get out of
scary.
here. Yeah, he's out. All right.
Radiant's middle
Bot
barracks.
lane.
What do we for supports? Who is the best level 25 talent? Because
Of the
I get
supports?
Grimstroke really don't seem like that big of a deal.
Let's see. You get the 60
700
HP regen, which is pretty freaking good on Lich. Walrus Punch Crit might be the best.
Is Doggy? how
Oh,
much
it's
is
the
Doggy able to get?
it's the AOE living armor for sure.
I think it's got to be the AOE living armor.
Yeah,
Is the biggest.
AOE
gotta
living
be-
armor
that's-
is pretty busted. Grimstrokes is Inkswell Radius. That one's pretty good too, actually.
That one's not doing it for me. I feel like if you're gonna hit the Inkswell, you're gonna hit the Inkswell.
Yeah, especially with how many melee cores are in this game.
I think the living armor is insane. That's
Yeah.
9 instances of 100 damage block times the amount of players that are hit.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
good.
that's a humongous number. If that's, I mean, that's assuming this game goes on for another hour.
Quick maths here. I just ran all the numbers actually.
Run the numbers.
And it is a metric ton.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming up with as well. Okay, refreshers off cooldown for Terrorblade. Where is the Divine Rapier?
I would expect Dark Raider to have maybe picked one up, but he's actually just going heart. He has bots too. He's going to get rid of the armlet, pick up a heart, and then you have a 4,000 health Kunkka. I don't know how you kill it.
Yeah, it'd be much easier for him to get into the fight, apply the Radiance blind. However, MKB is queued up for Terrorblade to deal with it. Terrorblade will drop his bots.
Probably. I don't think you can afford to put anything else out of his inventory. He has quite a
The
bit of movement
Hurricane Pike is a
speed,
big
being
deal.
an agility hero, plus the butterfly and the pike. So I think he's okay. Plus you have Warcry, right? So I think, yeah, he'll definitely put his bots in his backpack. He has Refresher in his backpack too, actually. I just noticed.
Yeah, both refreshers from these cores. The skill ceiling right now, they're pushing it, man. They're raising the roof in the 62-minute game. Double damage bottom. Is it RIT's turn? Double damage Terrorblade. Okay.
They want to make a
looking
play.
good.
They don't see this either on the side of SBU.
This is a 600 damage Terrorblade pre-metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Bonk,
He's just
bonk,
scouting,
bonk,
and
binos.
Shu might find him. No, they don't see. No team has vision of anyone except bot lane. They see Eradicate now, and in comes.
Oh,
Oh,
they saw the Life Stealer. Oh, but yeah, Eradicate has been found by Shu. He pops the BKB. The smoke comes out. The Godstrike comes out. The Rage is out. Doggy's going for the Walrus Punch. They find it on Life Stealer. There is an Abyssal Blade on Tinker, but Kunkka has been melted, and so has Tree. Now Life Stealer's in the middle of RIT. He goes inside a creep, but not for long, and he is taken out. He has buyback just like Kunkka, but someone who doesn't. Shu. Metamorphosis, double damage, God Strength. My God, Ricky, if I was standing at the Tier 3 for Stony Brook University, I would be shaking in my pants right now.
This is the first time since the start of the game that Lifestealer isn't on the top of net worth, and he's going to have to buy back here.
Yeah, but look, they're doing the same thing that RIT did. They're baiting. Oh, one buyback, but maybe Lifestealer doesn't have buyback. Maybe you guys might overcommit and he buys back and kills everyone.
They need this tower.
Buyback.
All right.
Tier 3 has dropped. The illusions are coming out. They're not doing a lot of damage to the
has
Kunkka.
BKB still.
Timbersaw baits out the Stormhammer. More illusions from Terrorblade are going in. Okay, they're doing a very slow push. Both teams knowing the power. Oh no! The Soulbind double hex, double silence. We're gonna see Terrorblade drop. And Xanthos on the backline. Doggy actually goes in and is stunned up. Doggy is taken out, and so is Sven. Only 2 players remain. And no man. Eradicate!
They got Tinker.
They got Tinker with the Yules. He's done. There's no way he gets out of this.
He has buyback. But it's
oh
not
my
gonna...
God!
He buys back immediately because he needs to start
has
pushing lanes.
Those, yeah, he doesn't. He can't let them. He can't let Stony Brook have time to push the lane into their base.
Wow, so they were trying to
dangerous.
bait the Terrorblade, but the immediate Soulbind Hex is just too much damage. They don't have any way to keep him alive, so he dies with BKB on cooldown, Refresher on cooldown. Or off cooldown, I'm sorry.
RIT has no more room for error in this next battle.
Terrorblade
has to play flawlessly. They cannot afford a single mistake or they will lose their base, their series, and their chance at a 5-semester straight win streak. However,
Timbersaw is going for Dagon, and I love it.
Ooh, okay, buyback on Doggy. Buyback on Tusk. Eradicate is marching his machines into the marching creeps of Stony Brook. Stony Brook went bottom, I blinked, and then all of a sudden all the barracks are missing. There's only one lane of barracks
losing
left.
that one. They're going to save the buybacks for top here. They cannot let
Terrorblade's
this
holding
top
his
lane
buyback.
fall.
Xanthos is committed. Eradicate, BKB, Hex. Xanthos, Godstrike. They're going in on the Timbersaw, one of the tankiest heroes. Now Terrorblade, once again, soulbound up. He has his BKB. Terrorblade uses the Manta. He's trying to get any damage out. He doesn't have Metamorphosis for 5 more seconds. A Glimmer Cape, a very cheap item, is having a huge effect. 65 minutes into the game. The Tier 3 tower is not taking much damage, but it looks like Xanthos has on his fence. Xanthos is about to drop. He manages to get one last sun out. Great Inkswell. Kneeblade is coming out. Eradicate's doing his best to hold down the Timbersaw, but Timbersaw is one of the tankiest heroes in the game. Now, BKB round 2 on Terrorblade. Terrorblade gets stunned. He's standing beside the damage machine himself. He is dropped without a buyback. Xanthos has no buyback. Tusk has no buyback. Lich has been bound. Eradicate is the only survivor on RIT. He's thrown into the air. Lich is back, but he doesn't have an ult. He has to watch while Eradicate's fingers set fire to his keyboard. He's pressing every button faster than he possibly can. He's trying to keep himself alive. He kills the Treant, but the Treant still has buyback, unlike his teammates. Lich is sitting there. What can I do? I'm in support. Help me. The party horn goes off. There's going to be a party tonight as SBU eliminates RIT from the Winter Invitational. Takes home the $1,000 grand prize. Eradicate desperately trying to do anything. He's bound his soul to Lich. And together, from the fountain, they will watch their ancient fall. This is
60 health regen is actually pretty crazy, but that is it.
RIT now knows what the defeat screen looks like, and Stony Brook University is the winner of the first ever Collegiate Star League Winter Invitational, taking home more than a first place, taking home more than $1,000 in prize pool. They have taken the crown off RIT, eliminated their chances at a 5-semester straight win streak, and are entering the playoffs as the baddest team in North American Collegiate Dota. My God, Ricky, a 2-0.
That is... I'm pretty much speechless, man. Like, I expected this to be a 3-game series. I think a lot of people were expecting RIT to probably be the winners here, and SBU played a phenomenal 2-game series. They just absolutely take it home today. 2-0 over the defending champions RIT. This is absolute insanity.
The most epic. They have now, both teams now have enough hours spent in Dota that they can graduate with a minor.
Dude, give them a master's, dude. Give them a PhD. Yeah. Give them the PhDs. These guys are Dota doctors, man. These guys owned it.
Holy crap. Now, Remelia had 4 deaths across both series.
Unacceptable.
I mean, this guy is a killer.
Oh my God.
That's it. And so, State University of New York Stony Brook taking it 2-0 over the grand champions, the Rochester Institute of Technology. Now, this is for the Winter Invitational, which takes place in the spring. every team in the Winter Invitational has secured a spot in the playoffs. We will be going into the playoffs shortly, in which every team that has made it. This is the first time teams are eliminated from the tournament. The teams that had not made it to the playoffs. Every team that is qualified for the playoffs will be fighting for a spot on LAN. I cannot confirm the amount of teams that will be invited out. However, last year it was 4 teams. Both Stony Brook University and RIT made it. RIT were crowned grand champions, and this is the first time they will have to bow their heads
to another team.
That day, the Eternal Kings are wearing the crown. How fitting. And they now have the spotlight on them and a target on their back. Playoffs.
Yeah, let's talk about that actually, because that's a really big deal, right? I think a lot of teams were preparing for the playoffs, scoping RIT's games, and Stony Brook, they are the new team to watch out for, a team that didn't just barely beat RIT in the Winter Invitational Finals. They handedly crushed them in game number 1, and then game number 2, they played so well. In a game that looked like RIT had moments where they could probably end it, just go high ground with this Terrorblade. And I don't know, man. It's Stony Brook. Cool, calm, and collected, right?
Yeah, game number 1, definitely, that was the Stony Brook show. Game number 2, that was a display of pure athleticism from both teams. It was an honor to be a part of that, to showcase what 2 titans of Dota can do. The most back and forth, the most epic, the most nail-biting, electrifying game we have seen this season. The epitome of North American Collegiate Dota. That was beautiful. Stony Brook, although first game felt a bit more one-sided, they barely were able to take it out of RIT until the last moment when they were just too much for RIT to handle. They are going to be entering the playoffs once again with the crown. And one thing I want to talk about, Ricky, we mentioned beforehand, that is the second time that RIT and Stony Brook have played this season.
You talked about this earlier.
The first best of 3 series went to RIT 2-1. The second best of 3 series went to Stony Brook 2-0 in that magnificent display of Dota that we just watched. Potentially, actually, if both teams keep up this level of play, the grand finals of the Collegiate Star League might be the 3rd installment in a best of 3 of best of 3s between Stony Brook and RIT, which might actually make the world implode.
I'm pretty sure if that's going to happen, it's going to be the equivalent of dividing by 0, right? It's going to create an immediate black hole.
Essentially, and I hope we see a black hole in that series.
Dude, that'd be epic. Hopefully Enigma comes back. We'll see. Oh, boy. What a game. What a series. This is Collegiate Dota at its finest, really. Like, this is what we've been looking forward to, this whole Winter Invitational. And it doesn't stop here, right? We get a whole amazing playoff series that's going to be coming here very shortly. So many good teams going to be duking it out for the LAN final spots. And it's going to be good, man. This is just a little treat of what to expect.
And this is the first year that CSL has conducted the Winter Invitational. Without a doubt, it is a success.
I love it.
It has gone above and beyond expectations. And another point I want to make with the Winter Invitational is teams that were beaten in the Winter Invitational have no official matches until the playoffs. Yeah. Therefore, RIT and Stony Brook have played more matches than every other team in the Winter Invitational. Teams that were eliminated in the first round of the Winter Invitational have played the least amount of matches. So they are arguably the rustiest teams. RIT, although they were defeated here tonight in a fantastic display, and Stony Brook are champions, they are the 2 most warmed up teams going into playoffs, meaning that they arguably have both those teams have the best shot of making it to the LAN finals, in this case returning to the LAN finals.
Mm-hmm. And that's just the benefit of taking the first half of the series, or the first half of the season, seriously. That was something that we've heard in complaints from players previously, is what do we do with the first half of the season? Well, this is what you do. Stony Brook just got $1,000. They have the number 1 seed for the playoffs, RIT with the number 2 seed for the playoffs, and they've been playing against all-star teams all winter. So these teams are so ready for playoffs.
Their gears are turning. They have momentum, and they're going to keep this momentum going into the playoffs. I want to know what the other two, assuming it's 4 teams, what the other 2 teams that make it to LAN are thinking after watching that game. Like, how do you go to LAN and then like you need to do something? Making it to LAN is a huge feat, but going to LAN with your assuming RIT and SBU make it, I don't know. Like,
Dude, there's a lot of good teams
you
left.
show up, but it's going to be a different tier, man.
It's going to be
how
so
do you
good.
show up and hang out with the big boys after that game?
Yeah, I want to see these 2 teams face again, but hopefully it's not to knock each other out of reaching the LAN finals. So we'll see what happens as we move further into the season. And honestly, as always, thank you all so much for joining us here. It's been an absolute pleasure. What a great Dota we just watched between 2 all-star teams. Like, words can't even describe. And we'll be back Monday and Wednesday. So just in a couple of days with some more collegiate Dota, I'm sure, right? Don't we? I think we do.
Oh, of course. We always have Dota
There's
going
always
on.
Dota.
So ordinary times, but extraordinary games.
Yeah. Well, Carlo, do us a favor. Tell these fantastic folks where they can find you.
You looking to keep up with me? Follow me on Twitter. CarlolT0N. Check out my Twitch, CarlT0N, Carlton and Carlalton. But most importantly, Ricky, tell them where they can keep up with you.
Yeah, you guys can find me pretty much on any form of social media, as well as here on Twitch, casting collegiate Dota in my downtime at RKRYPTRPTIC. I can't spell my own name. Cryptic, the one and only. And honestly, find us here on the main channel for CSL, the best place in the world for collegiate Dota.
Yes,
We've got it on lock. And hopefully we'll see you all soon. Hope you enjoyed the cast and the series. I know we did thoroughly. Yep. And it's got my blood pumping, dude. I'm ready to play some Dota on my own, and I'm ready to watch some more collegiate Dota as we go further. So, final thoughts, Carlo. What do you got?
Balloons. I want to. That's it. I want to play Dota. I think that sums it up the best. That series blew my mind. I might need to sleep for 24 hours. I need to eat. I need to shower. But I have a burning desire to play Dota right now because of that fantastic match. And I don't think I am alone in how I feel about the masterpiece that we just witnessed here tonight. Again, you can find us Mondays and Wednesdays to witness more masterpieces in the future, myself and this beautiful fellow with me. That's all I got to say, Ricky. I'm done.
I couldn't have said anything better myself, so I'm going to let it go there. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you in just a couple days. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday.